I'm Lazy B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.
Hello, everyone. What is today? Tuesday. And we have a new case to discuss, and it is about the Solomons, Angie Solomon and Aaron Solomon. I've been getting a lot of requests about this, and I was originally scheduled to go live in like 30 minutes, but I think we've got a lot to cover. So I thought I would get into it and welcome. And yes, it's not like your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. I have on the same outfit in this video because it's what I wore today. Hello. I know I was late because I was watching something else about Nolan Wells' case, which is another one. So I thought I would first start with this video that I made today, and then we'll get into everything else. And let me just preface this by, these are all opinions, allegedly not accusing anybody of anything. I feel like in this story, it's all just been about Angie and no one's talked about things with Aaron. I just think you all need to listen and just take all this in. Hey there, Blue River, Taterbug, Law Lover. Good to see y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and start just because, like I said, we have a lot we're going to go over.
Good morning. Heading to court. Here we go. This is just like having a friend in my passenger seat. My phone is...
And for all the little twerps out there watching, going, you shouldn't drive and text. Okay. It's literally mounted on my windshield. This is just like having a passenger. It's all Bluetooth.
On a mount attached across the car. So there's no texting and driving or anything like that. It's just like talking to a friend in the car. But we are headed today to Franklin, Tennessee, which is actually where yours truly grew up. You know, it's a suburb of Nashville. So we are headed to what is supposed to be a hearing for Angie Solomon, who was charged and arrested last year with trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband, Aaron Solomon. Aaron Solomon is a former news anchor. I believe he did sports. He was with the NBC affiliate in Nashville, Channel 4, WSMV, and I remember seeing him on there. But things started going pretty sideways in the marriage. I believe they divorced around 2013. We're going to review all that later on this video. I have all the documents. So there's a lot to the story, and I have found that many of the podcasters are telling pieces of it, and I think we need to look at the whole story. I really, the more I look at this, I don't know who is what or what's going on, or bad guy, good guy, both bad guys. I mean, could be. Look how pretty this is, though, y'all. I mean, where else can you have all this land? And
isn't that pretty, y'all? This is Nashville right here. This is why people come and visit and go, well, I want to live here. I mean, this beautiful, these horses. I mean, this land is primo. But you can literally be downtown in like 20-something minutes from this. You can't get that many places.
I can see the horses way back there. Land, and I mean, we're like 22 miles from downtown Nashville. He said the divorce was pretty rough. Their divorce docket, whatever you call that, has over 340 filings in it. That is tremendous. And as I mentioned, I believe the divorce was filed for in 2013. It is now 2020.
They are not Jewish, Melissa. They're very much not.
6.
You'll learn.
And there is stuff still going on in that. Back, child support, all of this. So Aaron actually got...
Tater, yes, because you know that's where I am around.
Primary custody. He had the kids 80%. I will say, from my perspective, when I hear that, it's like...
Okay, I'm laying the foundation. This is not going to go to trial until early 2027. Today, there was a big pretrial hearing. So I am laying the groundwork because I'm telling y'all, this is going to be huge. Court TV streaming it. So get on board with this now. There is like a ton of twists and turns, and just buckle your seatbelt.
Oh, that's interesting, because that's not typical, especially in
Yay, Judel.
2013. Most divorces are going to be 50-50. But now I hear that judges very much try to keep it 50-50. So that stuck out to me. Okay, 80-20. And her parents.
So did you hear what I was just saying? When they got divorced, it was filed in 2013. It was finalized in 2014. I've been in the docket. I've seen it all. There's 343 filings in their divorce. Y'all, that's insanity. That's more than like Charlie Adelson's criminal file, I think. He got custody, 80%. Think about that.
Angelia, who I believe just goes by Angie, Angie's parents also wanted the husband, the father of the children, they wanted him to have custody. Then as I go through the files, there's just a lot of filings, protective orders.
So did you catch that? Even her parents wanted the father to have custody.
This and this, and I mean, God only knows how many legal fees. But as I mentioned, Erin was a news anchor. Angie, a pharmacist. She has her PhD. These are not uneducated people. Just keeps getting worse as I go through it. So then they ended up divorcing, and Erin was trying to be nice, is the way I'm interpreting it. But just know this is all alleged. That I am reading this from public documents. I am not casting accusations on either person, either way. I'm trying to paint the picture of the whole case. Then Gracie, so there's Grant is the son and Gracie is the daughter. Gracie is claiming that dad is S-A-ing her, and this depends on the different podcasts that you see.
So we do have to just, and I am not discrediting anybody. I'm just trying to lay this all out. So dad gets 80% custody, right? That's not easy. And then all of these allegations are coming out, okay? And they do get investigated by the state.
But some say that she told the school, which they go to a private Christian school, and they told her, oh, you should be ashamed. I have not found proof of that. I believe that is hearsay. But there were lots of accusations, and every time it was brought to Department of Children's Services in Tennessee, it would go unfounded. I believe there were at least 3 investigations, and I have seen those DCS reports myself. They are filed in the parents' divorce docket. So I have seen those. Every time they go unfounded. Fast forwarding in about.
So as we go along, I'm going to kind of give the history. I really wanted to build like, a Netflix quality documentary for y'all, but here goes. So the divorce filing started in 2013. That was the first allegation by the little girl. And Angie files the report, the mom. DCS closed it. Department of Children's Services, they investigated it, unfound. Happens again, 2014. Same thing. Department of Children's Services investigates, closes it. Happens again in January 2018. Same thing. Lack of evidence. Happens again in August 2018. And then the guardian ad litem gets in the mix in 2019. So just saying, it's messy.
I believe it was 2020. Grant was about to turn 18. And the word is that Grant was going to go public with what Gracie was alleging against dad, and Grant was going to share what dad had been doing to Gracie, and he was going to go for custody of Gracie because he was 18. So So then it was
Okay, so Judal's asking how old the kids. So we're about to get into all that. So Grant is deceased. He died in 2020, and that's where things get really wonky as well. Gracie is now 19. She's in college.
April of 2020.
And yes, John, this is in Nashville. The civil stuff is in Nashville. The criminal stuff is in Williamson County, Franklin, Tennessee.
And Grant is a baseball player, competitive baseball player. And he and his dad go up to Gallatin, Tennessee, which is a good solid hour, to kind of like a batting place or pitching, baseball kind of training place. I believe they have coaches that work with kids, that kind of thing there. And they had a 9:00 session where they were going to all work on baseball. So Aaron and Grant arrived. And again, this is where the story gets wonky, but we're going to dig into it. And what Aaron says is he was sitting in his car checking his emails. Grant is in his white Tacoma pickup truck. He gets out to get his, baseball gear, bag, all that out of the back. I've read somewhere the back, like in the truck, and then I've read the back seat. So whatever. So that he sees him doing that. And then he finishes his email and he looks up and the truck and Grant aren't there. And he's like, well, what's happened? And then he sees that the truck is in the ditch. It is rolled back. And Grant, he can't find him. He says Grant is pinned under the truck and he calls 911. We're going to listen to that call. Supposedly some good Samaritans called to try and help. But then when EMS arrived, these Samaritans weren't there. Now, fast forward, Grant is taken to the hospital in Sumner County where he does not make it. So the mom comes, and I've seen her interviews, and she says, yeah, well, when I got there, Aaron had already signed off everything. I wasn't even allowed to make any decisions. I don't know how that works. I don't know if in a divorce, if they want someone's deceased, does it still default to that parent who got to make the decisions? I don't know. And she says she couldn't find a doctor anywhere, or they were too busy to talk to her. So she talked to nurses, and they said it didn't make sense.
Now, I do think his suspicious raises my eyebrows. I'm not going to lie. But then the mom saying there was no doctor to talk to me at the hospital, I can tell you for damn sure, you're going to have to pull me out of there because I'm going to be finding them to talk to.
That's what they were saying on how he died. Now, I'm thinking if my child dies at the hospital or in a wreck, you bet believe I'm finding a doctor to go talk to. All that to be said, okay.
Medicine and that defy common sense.
Okay, so this was, I believe Angie Solomon, this was a while back. She interviewed with Ashley Banfield, okay? And this is when she says, yeah, she got to the doctor and that Aaron had arranged it so she couldn't speak to the doctor.
When I did arrive at the hospital, I was pretty cleared out, and Aaron had made sure there was no doctors or anyone there that I could speak with. However, I did get to
just listen to that, y'all. I mean,
cleared out, and Aaron had made sure there was no doctors or anyone there that I could speak with. However, I did get to speak with nurses, and the first thing they told me was the injuries do not match the accident description. And that right there is a red flag that is supposed to be rolled up the ladder.
Now, that's what the nurses told her, supposedly. As we go through this, I think you're going to see we got to take everybody's word with a grain of salt.
Police to start an investigation if they didn't.
So they have Grant's funeral, and Aaron took his wife, ex-wife, and daughter. He took them shopping, got them outfits for the funeral.
So keep in mind, so we've had, let's see, how many allegations of sexual abuse? 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, maybe 6. And dads supposedly are R-ing and all this, but they're going out to eat together. He's taking them shopping. He's buying them food. They're riding in cars together. He's taking meals to them. Would you do that with someone? I'm asking.
Bought Grant's outfit to be buried in. They're having the service. I mean, they were very well known in this Franklin community, and they're all like in the receiving line, and somebody tells Aaron after the funeral, like, hey, she's telling everybody you did it.
She's at the funeral at the memorial, like in the visitation, and she's telling everybody he did it. Meanwhile, they've ridden in the car together, they've gone shopping, they've been eating together, and all this, planning everything.
But then they would ride in the car together and go eat together. So it's just really all bizarre. So then Gracie later on goes public on YouTube, and she writes a letter about all of the SAing she says her dad has done to her. And again, these investigations were closed, but she is saying this. A judge actually in Williamson County told Angie no more filings for 72 months. That's 5 years.
Think about that. A judge said no more, because the mom just kept filing things.
No more filings. Well, you know what was 72 months away? Gracie's 18th birthday. So the judge kind of shut her down. I find Williams County to be a really fair county. So, I don't feel like this is Massachusetts. Again, it's all bizarre. So, fast forward, Angie starts a GoFundMe. She starts 2 GoFundMes. One is to raise money for Grant to have his body exhumed and to do her own investigative report, to do accident reconstruction.
Okay, so she starts this GoFundMe because they want to do their own report. And I don't blame her. I would too. Want to have body exhumed, like an ARCA reconstruction kind of thing.
Was the truck faulty? Was he in drive? What happened? The other is she wants to do a whole, this reenactment, kind of, I guess, like the
cynical senders. Hey there. You're asking, did Gracie report anything, or was it only the mom? The mom would file the reports when Gracie was a little girl. But like now, like Gracie's talking about what baths were like when she was 1. And says that only the dad would bathe her, and that would not let the mom.
Karen Reed stuff.
Allegedly.
And again, check out his injuries, because it was like, I think, to the orbital bone, I believe. And then I've seen pictures of a blood, the rock. I don't know. I need to get the police report. So that's something else I'm working on. So like 130-ish, or maybe 40,000 or so, maybe 150.
Okay, so on the screen, I've got a picture of one of the GoFundMes. So this is a screenshot from today. So this is in Grant's GoFundMe. $138,262 has been raised.
GoFundMe was raised
since 2020.
Then there was one that was for Gracie that was raised to help, I guess, maybe legal fight against him. And it had
Freedom for Gracie. So she's raised a little over 40,000. Okay.
We're 40-something thousand in it. Okay. So we're looking at close to $200,000 in GoFundMe funds raised. Yep. And then last year, Angie decides she wants to have Aaron taken out. He's about to inherit $1 million from an aunt or an uncle. And she approaches, my understanding, again, this is hearsay, okay? Allegedly, she approached a young man who was like 19 years old, asking him to do it, or if he knew somebody that could do it. And that kid goes straight to the police. So there was an undercover investigation done by the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. So the TBI does this, and at the Cool Springs Mall, which is the big mall in Franklin, parking lot, it goes down. Whole undercover sting. She says she wants a slow, painful death. She tells where Aaron works out. He goes to Lifetime Fitness, giving all these details and things. She says she has no money. She has nothing. She has nothing. Supposedly, the GoFundMes don't have money in them anymore. Mm-hmm. Nothing's ever been exhumed or anything. To my knowledge, I believe a judge would have to.
So supposedly there is no money now in the GoFundMes. So that's almost like $200,000.
Order that. I've also heard that she took numerous trips to Florida. Again, I don't know. So then Angie gets arrested, and her bond is $500,000. So you have to put up 10%, which is $50,000. And her bond hearing, and they're like, she can't make bond at this amount. TBI agent testifies. They play all the recording. So we're going to watch some of that. And then, well, the judge is like, well, she's got this GoFundMe. I mean, why don't y'all just use that and then she can pay it back? And it was like, well, and no one ever really could answer, like, is there money? Where's the money? So the judge ultimately lowers the bond to $250,000. So this was last May of 2025. So she had to put up then $25,000, but very strict rules. Ankle monitor, house arrest.
We don't know where the money is, Cat Rod, but there is some things in civil court because the dad is doing subpoenas of financial stuff. I mean, y'all, I'm telling you.
Zero telecommunications equipment. Zero. I mean, that's Alexa, internet, like no internet, no phone, nothing. And you can see Angie at the table like, what? And her attorneys are like, can she just have this? And he said, no, this is what I'm doing. This is Judge Woodruff, whose courtroom we're supposed to be in this morning. He's like, no, we're not doing, no, that's it. But then she would be allowed to go to a doctor's appointment. They said, and what about meeting with attorneys? He goes, I think y'all can make house calls. But then I felt like at the end of the hearing, he said, well, she can go meet there. So I don't really know.
Yes, Cheryl. I know nothing about the story, but if she believes her daughter since childhood and killed the son, right? She also believes that the governor of Tennessee is involved in a huge trafficking ring and that all these people are in on it and that there's like basically just a lot of politicians involved in things. Okay.
How that ended up. Then fast forward a little bit later, and she has charges pressed against her again, this time by the state for theft under $1,000 for a nonprofit called Grace Works.
Yes, Tater. So just in December, she had more charges brought against her for theft from a nonprofit called Grace Works.
And based on my research, I can't find this in any official document. It appears to be maybe the charity was loaning her money because she couldn't pay rent. It was like $800, I think, is what I've gathered. Again, hearsay. Don't know if this is fact, but what I'm reading on a lot of blogs and things. So they're calling it kind of like a witch hunt, that this is just the state going after her. Now, she's still on house arrest. Now we have this hearing today, but her best friend who vouched for her when the hitman bond hearing happened was also charged in this petty theft, or less than $1,000, whatever that is. So we'll see how it all cranks out. But a lot of people are very, very suspicious. They think Aaron is a murderer and an SA'er. So he is apparently threatened, stalked in public, pictures taken of him. You will see all over social media, people are like, wish you had died. And everybody seems to be siding with Angie. Now, she did go on a big podcast spree, I would say, when all this kind of went down. And then she started ghosting some of the podcasters. So a lot of these stories were told like in 23 and 24. Now, I don't think she's been allowed to talk to anybody since all the hitman stuff. But when people started asking, like, well, what's going on with the GoFundMe? Where's the money? Where is everything? Communication stopped because people have been pushing her, to try to get money. So that's where we are. It's ugly. It's messy. I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. So recently, Aaron has been on I guess it's a Christian, Good Grief, Good God show, like podcast. So I'm going to show some clips of that. I would love the behavior panel to do an analysis on this one. But y'all just stay tuned. So this morning it's supposed to start at 9. It's 8:40, and I'm arriving in Franklin downtown right now. And it's a much friendlier place to come down here. Parking is free, unlike Nashville, where it's $20 a day. And I'm looking forward to being in the Williamson County Courthouse. What I have heard from my sources, because you can't find this stuff online unless you pay like a $350 subscription fee, that this hearing...
I did figure out the court documents today. I went to the the office or whatever, right there in the courthouse. So you have to be a Tennessee resident to get them. So all the big podcasters out there, you might want to hit me up.
That they have said, allow 2 hours on your calendar. So we're about to find out, but I will keep y'all posted on everything. And I'm looking forward to reviewing this. And I look forward to hearing everybody's comments, because this is just a wild one that just keeps taking wild turns. All right. Well, y'all have a fantastic.
So again, we're just laying groundwork. Don't worry. I'm going to cover some things. You're going to learn more. I'm going to play the 911 call. Hey, ain't no hollaback girl. Good to see you. And hey, Renita, that's wild. You're in Australia and you've heard of this case. Cool. I mean, this is right here in my neck of the woods. Yes, Jenny, that's right. Good grief, good God. And he heavily backs the dad in this. It's run by a country music songwriter. Yeah, exactly. Anything to get us out of Massachusetts. Welcome to the South, y'all.
Rest of your week. Hello.
Okay, so now we're going to go into this is me after court. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to read what the motions were and we'll go into that. But then we go on a little field trip and I'm going to show you like all the places, all the things I've been wanting to do in Tallahassee.
Leslie B. just got out of the hearing, and there were supposed to be 4 motions heard, but they all weren't. The defendant wasn't here. They're always full of surprises.
Yep. Got to court. Angie wasn't there today.
So Angie wasn't there. She didn't think she needed to be there, which is interesting. Her attorney is from California, and I think he's learning the way. So I'm going to fill everybody in tonight live. Have a great day. There's a food truck. I want to show y'all how cute this Franklin is, though. This is just, like I said, my stomping grounds when I was growing up. All these old historic homes. You could have bought these back in the day for, God, so reasonable. But now when we look at them, my mom, my husband, and I mean, to get like a lot, you're looking at like $2 million. And a lot of these are, of course, in the historic registry. So then you can't, knock it down. I love these old stone ones. This little White House up here is so cute too. Look at this big guest house they've got. This is a big house up here. And they've built a 3-car garage. Bet they put that on Airbnb or something. Big old house. Nice privacy. So y'all need to subscribe and like my videos so that maybe one day I can buy one of these. Just kidding. Look how adorable. I would never have it in me to renovate one of those. You got to go by all these historic rules and no, thank you. Isn't that just gorgeous?
Isn't that awesome though? Look at that. But woo, it is so expensive to fix up these old homes. I mean, builders will tell you that it's like people do that for the love of it because it's cheaper to knock something down. But the ones in the historic registry, you can't.
Here's another house. This is really neat.
Yes, an investigation was done in Grant's death, and they did not think at all that there was anything to be filed. I'm not saying I agree with any of this. I'm just telling y'all. But I have some plans on things I'm going to do to research it. Yeah, Tater, downtown Franklin is gorgeous. I mean, it's amazing, but I mean, you better have several million to get something. I like this house. So it's an old house, and then they built like a carriage style.
They have an old house here, and then they added on like this carriage kind of house style.
See, it's for their G-Wagon.
Which is really kind of neat. It's an art gallery, but I think it's also their home. Got a big garden. And then these are the ultimate ones right here. I know an attorney who lives in here. He was a former federal prosecutor. Now he's a private defense attorney. Okay, so a big part of the Solomon story is Grace Chapel, private school and
I said Grace Chapel. Grace Chapel's the church. It's Grace Christian Academy.
Church. So I thought I would go drive by there just so I can kind of show y'all the lay of the land there, and also go by where the undercover sting operation.
Melissa, yeah, I was born and raised here. But yeah, no, we've done very well on our home, and I'll just leave it at that. But yes, it has blown up. But now it's like if you sell it, then you got to go buy something at the new inflated rate.
Went in the parking lot of Macy's. Can't make this up. I thought I would show y'all.
So y'all tell me if y'all have no interest in this, but I'm taking y'all to show you the jail where Angie was booked. We're going to go to the cemetery. We're going to go to Macy's and see where the hitman thing happened. We're going to see Grace Christian Academy. We're going to see Grace Works. But I wanted some stock footage because I'm going to be covering this heavily, and I wanted to be boots on the ground.
The jail, because I think it's always good to see where these people start. So Angie is out on bond, but I believe she was in the jail a few weeks. There's also another big case out here in Williamson County, Raw, R.A.
Have y'all heard of that case? I've met the person that gets me the paperwork. Praise the Lord. Rawl, R-A-W-L. It's in Williamson County, which is the county we're in. But it's south. It's called College Grove is the area. He red rummed his wife in July, and then he started eating her. And I read the warrant, but that one's going to be huge, and I'm going to cover it too.
WL allegedly murdered his wife. It's pretty bad. So we are coming up here on the Williamson County Jail. It looks like they're doing an expansion. So this is the, gosh, can I drive over that? This is the sheriff's office in Williamson County Jail. So they got the booking and the Sally Port. Just thought I'd park here for a second, but
it's definitely very different than the Nashville jail, Davidson County, which is, kind of like what you see in a city, tall, and this one's not as bad.
This is where it all starts. So probably gonna think I'm here trying to break somebody out.
I don't know about y'all, but anytime I go into like a government building or I'm even around one, I get like my heart starts pounding like, oh my God, am I going to get arrested? Like, what am I doing? I mean, when I went into the whatever clerk of courts or whatever to get the paperwork today, I'm just like, hey, oh my God, I'm Leslie. It's just like, I don't know. I get like anxious. Is that normal?
Over there, you can see that's the bondsman, Grumpy's bail bonds. It's one of the big ones. So go out over there, you bond them out, and then they walk over here and they get your person. But yeah, this is the booking and the entrance here.
Oh, fun fact, if any of y'all have ever watched that documentary about the cult church here, the Remnant Church, the way down the lane that crashed, when they were trying to keep his kid away from the mom, that's where she would go for the fight. That's another one I want to cover.
This is Grace Works Ministries. So it says here on the sign, clothing.
Okay, so Grace Works. Okay, now we're where Angie Solomon supposedly and her best friend Melanie Hicks, they have a charge against them for theft under $1,000. Based on what I've been reading on blogs, which is not a legal document, it says it was like $800 to help. Angie is broke. Like she has no money, like nothing, supposedly, allegedly. But I was like, what the heck is Grace Works? So it's kind of like a Goodwill is the best way to explain it.
Donation, food donation, neighbor services, thrift store, and furniture donation. So Grace Works is a nonprofit that allegedly Angie Solomon and her friend Melanie Hicks got charged with theft of.
And we're going to see Melanie Hicks in a moment. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy you're here. Hey, Hurricane Holly, and here for today. And everybody, if y'all would just like this, and even at the end, if you want to like hype it, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
I think it was under $1,000. I think it was like $800 to help pay Angie's rent. I don't really know the details, but this is Grace Works, and it's just 1.2 miles from.
No, I have never done anything to be nervous about, other than when I was like 2 or 3, I took a piece of gum out of the little candy bin at Kroger grocery store. And I mean, we went back and apologized, and I'm still guilty about it at 52. I don't know why I feel like that. I just feel, I don't know. Like, I know I haven't done anything. It's just like, I don't know what to say, but it's the Williamson County court people are so much more approachable. The lady's like, "Oh, here, let me help you." Yes.
In the jail. So while I was out here, I just thought I would drive by and see. Looks like you can bring donations here. They have a thrift store. Grace Works Ministries. So I would love to know more information about it, but I'm not sure if Angie or Melanie were working there. I mean, how did all that happen? Again, I don't know. Oh man, when I was at the criminal clerk court today, I should have asked her. She's going to send me the motions.
Yes, I'm going to ask the lady. So I was like, "Hey, when I go online, it says I have to pay $350." And she's like, "No, no, no, you can do this free thing." And then I email it. I've got to redact. And she's like, "You just want to wait? I'll just do it now." And she said, "But you do have to be a resident of Tennessee." I whipped out my driver's license. She's like, "Oh, honey, you're good. I knew you were."
Oh, well. All right. On to Grace Christian Academy next. That is where.
It's not necessarily embezzlement. This is just like a lesser charge, but supposedly it was like under $1,000. We don't really know what it was.
Gracie and Grant lived. I mean, gosh, went to school. Find Grant's grave here at Williamson Memorial Gardens. He was at.
So while I was out there, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go find Grant's grave. I wanted to see it. Everything is like all close together. I mean, the courthouse, the jail, the Grace Works, the cemetery. So I'm pulling in there. I have no idea even where his grave is. I thought, I'm gonna find it. And I did.
Actually buried. My understanding is that there's an area in this cemetery where youth in this area that have passed, they're buried together. And how heartbreaking is that? And also, just so y'all know, I'm not holding this. My phone is mounted on my windshield. Garden of Peace Mausoleum. Garden of Good Shepherd. I feel like this one over here looks like children.
So I'm driving around. I'm thinking there's got to be an angel statue. That's going to be something with children. That's what I was just thinking. Melissa, you've only heard tidbits about the story. Wasn't the father successful? Yeah, I mean, he was a news anchor with Channel 4. Now there's rumors that he was fired because of inappropriate images on his computer. But then there's other people that say that's not true. I don't know, but he is a financial planner with like one of the big finance firms. Yeah, John,
I think about mausoleums.
So I asked y'all, what do y'all think about mausoleums? I mean, I'm just driving around talking to my phone like, yeah, I hope everyone listens. So I'd like to hear what y'all's thoughts are on mausoleums. Is the whole premise because people don't want to be in the ground? Like, why do they do them? Oh, 850.
Oh, it really does go far back in here. So I was just driving and I look over.
So I'm literally, y'all, driving around this and I look up and I see this.
And I see this and I'm like, I wonder if this is him. Keep winning. Love like Grant.
So he's a baseball player. We know that, right? He died at the baseball place in 2020.
Philippians 2:3, and we know that he was a big baseball player. So now I'm wondering if this is his. Grant Solomon. Wow. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. So there it is. I'm going to kind of move these flowers over so they're, well, it's kind of dirty, I guess. So I don't know. Is this like his grave? It seems like a bench.
So I was very confused because I'm like, there's no dates on this. This seems strange. So I'm walking around, have a friend texted me. She was on an airplane coming back from Boston. She'd gone up there for a concert. And she said, oh, my friend is out there. So I went and found her grave. And then I found Grant's actual grave.
Oh, okay. So here's Grant's. So I guess that over there was like a bench.
So this was interesting to me. So his name in the divorce documents is Grant Rhodes Solomon. But I noticed now on his grave, it's got Huffines in that, which I think is Angie's maiden name. It's like she added that. I don't know.
This says Grant Rhodes Huffines Solomon, June 13th, 2002. Oh gosh, he was just born 21 days after my son.
It's wild to see that. My son was due on June 5th, 2002, but he was born in May. But when you see dates like your age, like I saw somebody else out there today that was born same year I was, like that kind of shakes you.
July 20th, 2020. Let not your heart be troubled. John 14:1. Lead, serve.
Yes, I think the ex-wife did this and the dad let it. Now I know I really just want to like lay the facts out there because I feel like all we ever hear is one side of this.
Love.
Hey, true crime wifey. Yeah, there were like babies, tombstones and stuff around here. It was really sad.
Oh dear. I was not prepared for that.
So I got back to my car and my really cute little wedges. It was soaked, muddy.
That it was just some wet grass, but ew. Okay, so this is Grace Christian Academy.
Okay, so then I had driven like 6 miles and it was a beautiful drive. I mean, y'all look at the rolling hill and the greenery. Oh, I know. But true crime wifey, I got home and I hit those shoes with the hose and they're drying. It's all good. Oh, Karen, you lost 7 family members last year who didn't even make it to 60. Cat ride, I did know it's against the law to drive barefoot. I took those off. And since they were so wet and sticky, I did not put them back on. So I did break the law today. No, I did.
So it looks like they're growing.
Yeah, now that I'm not working, I'm gonna put that on OnlyFans. Just kidding. Just call me Courtney Clenny.
But this is where Grant and Gracie attended. Some really nice land. I'd like to live out here.
Well, this is some primo land, so I don't know. I'm sure somebody gifted this to Grace Christian.
Looks like they're expanding.
And I think it's hilarious how my car's like, whoa. I mean, it sounds like I'm in a Maestro Ferrari. I'm not. I'm in like a SUV. Baseball field straight ahead. So I thought we could see where Grant played ball. I just wanted y'all to see Grace Christian. This is where Grant played ball. I just think this is all important to lay this out because, like I said, the trial is supposed to start January, February.
Kind of curious. Does the church meet here too? Because that's got a Grace Chapel bus field. You can see the Grace Chapel flag.
I didn't get out of my car because I had muddy, wet feet. Plus, I thought, I don't know why. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to be like, what is she doing with this camera?
But that's Grace Chapel.
Isn't that wild? That's the school. Grace Christian. I keep calling it Grace Chapel. I wonder what grades it is. And it looks like up there on that top peak thing. I don't know. I'm hearing mixed things on this place.
Grace Christian Academy. So now we're just getting it all in today. I just wanted like some stock footage of everything, you know. So that's what I'm doing, in case y'all are wondering. Isn't this pretty out here though? This is why everybody loves Tennessee. Oh, and also we don't have any state income tax. Huh. All right.
Yeah, no state income tax is definitely one of the big perks. A lot of California people come here because they're getting eaten alive. I mean, people are coming here, you know, that have millions in California, but they're sick of paying all the taxes. And they'll go in and like a several $1 million home and offer $250,000 above asking price cash. So it hyperinflated a lot of things. Okay, so Grace Christian, I just looked it up, is pre-K through 12th grade. And I think there's 2 campuses.
Hello. So I am driving hands-free. This is Bluetooth. It is mounted on my windshield. Okay. So nobody needs to come at me and be like, you shouldn't be driving with.
I know I get like 99,000, not really, great comments. And then like one negative one. I'm like, what the hell? Some lady commented the other night, was like, I'm sorry. It was awful how your microphone was so much lower than the video. Well, the reason is, Karen, because the video I pre-made, and you know how in the courts in Tallahassee back years ago, the volume was low. So I hiked it up so it didn't match my mic. But you know what? Bye, bitch.
Your phone. I am not holding it or anything. It's no different than me having a passenger that I'm talking to. But I did attend the Solomon hearing this morning. Woo! There's a lot to unpack.
Okay. Let's go to I'm going to show y'all the 911 call first. And I already know what y'all are going to say. But I thought I had it up. Hold on. Well, first, let me go to this. This is the Good Grief, Good God show that Aaron has been a guest on some. So I'm going to play just a little bit. And they actually clipped in some STS. It was not me. I hope I don't get a strike.
Followed by today's episode.
Coming straight from me. It's on me. And
So this is Gracie's video that she released on YouTube.
no one else is telling me what to do.
Aaron immediately asked for her to be placed in DCS custody for this video that
So that's Angie in the middle.
obviously she didn't
willingly do, but she did.
that she didn't write.
Ever since I was born, my dad has done awful things to me. First, he never let my mom bathe me.
I'm just going to ask all of y'all, who remembers who bathed them at 1 year old? I definitely don't, and I would use it to represent that these seeds were planted in.
This is that lady, Mary Turner, that's on STS a lot. She's an attorney in Tuscaloosa. I think she's also a law professor at Alabama.
Her head, and then she began to believe it. And parental alienation is a form of abuse. And by God, I would take this to the box. This man is a victim of his children being turned against him. And it's really sad.
I do think there is a ton of parental alienation involved. I also think it takes two to tango. Okay. Hey, Sue Gaines, my neighbor in Kentucky. Armand, Donna is sick. Donna has an abscess the size of a tennis ball on her arm, and she had to get an IV, apparently. And people were coming at me like, are you happy that she's in pain? I mean, did she think about the pain? She calls Dan Markel.
But we see it so many times.
I hate my dad.
There is what we call a lack of ambivalence. The alienating parent is the wonderful parent. The rejected parent, I hate them and they're the devil.
Also, remember, dad had 80% custody, but what he was doing, and this is where he kind of messed up, and I get it, because when you get a divorce, like you have a parenting plan, and that's because if mom and dad just can't agree, this is what the court has said. But they always encourage you, hey, work together. Like it doesn't have to be 80-20. If you want it to be 70-30, y'all can do that, but this is here to go by. Also, remember that interview I did with the forensic psychiatrist, Dr. Burnett, emeritus Vanderbilt University professor, who has talked about parental alienation and what it does.
That's essentially the way it gets in severe alienation. Then we have what we call independent thinker phenomena. So when a child says, nobody's telling me what to do, I've come to this conclusion all by myself, it doesn't ring true.
Think about the whole story. Her parents, we know how much.
Okay, so this is the podcast. It's Good Grief, Good God show, but he's a famous country music writer. His son died from a fentanyl overdose of like 2020. But he's turned all this into basically a voice, and he has a men's group that gets together, and I know several fathers that are in it with him, and they have lost children, whether it be a tragic accident, a drug overdose, whatever it may be.
We love kids. Her parents are supporting you. That's loud.
Alienated kids will not only reject the other parent, but the other parent's entire extended family, grandparents, cousin, all of them get put into the same pot of demonized, and I don't want to have contact with him.
The court. Do you believe that Mr. Solomon has molested your daughter?
I do not know. I do not want to believe that. No. No, sir, I do not.
Do you believe these children have been nutritionally neglected?
I also do not want to believe that. This is who my children are with at this time.
When all this went down, Angie was with pretty much every creator she could get with. But then,
okay, this is Justin. His channel is Justin Nick of Crime, I think. I got to respect this guy. I started following him a long time ago before my whole, hobby here. He was a pharmaceutical rep, which I was as well many years ago. So I identify with him. But he lives in Gallatin, Tennessee, and he left that pharma job and he has taken off, y'all. I mean, he gets interviewed by Ashley Banfield, I think Nancy Grace, other people, but he has really built a channel and he's really, really good. But he interviewed Angie, and then she started ghosting him when he started asking about the GoFundMe.
And creator support started to fizzle out because Angie started ghosting everybody. But for me specifically, we had raised some money off of our platform. I wanted to follow up with her. Like, we can't keep asking people to give you money if we don't have updates. And she did eventually get back to me almost a year later.
When you back this up to the 30,000 foot view, what you have are extremely serious allegations being pushed out in public. These have been investigated and reported and looked at by law enforcement and DAs and found to be not credible, not chargeable, not prosecutable. And now we have her attempting to murder him,
Right. So when we talk about Grant's suspicious death, I mean, I get it. I think it's all bizarre. And I'm going to play the 911 call next. I'm not believing there's this trafficking ring and the governor and all these people are involved. And that's what she's alleging. She's like, oh, he would sit next to them in church and things. I just don't see Aaron as having that kind of ties. I mean, I don't. Now, agree, it takes two to tango. And I'm not saying, I don't know, but I do think this was investigated. I want to get the police report. So supposedly some Good Samaritans came on scene, but then they left before EMS arrived. That's always been a red flag to me. But then these people did come forward a few years ago.
Back all that up and kind of look at it from a distance, you start to see what appear to be some credibility issues. She's now charged with soliciting a hitman.
Most false allegations of abuse come out in response to something that's going on in the legal case. Oftentimes, if you plot it out on a timeline, you will see certain events triggering these false allegations of abuse.
Yeah. And for me, my gift is also you can see people's weakness. Not everyone's going to be like, oh.
Okay, so that's Angie. So we're coming up here on her arrest, which was last year in 2025. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Jill. Madonna famously said, if there's 100 people in the room and 99 people like it, she only remembers the one person that didn't like it. I can't say that, like, I don't remember all the nice things. I love comments. I mean, it means a lot. I do go through and read, and I try to reply to as many as I can. But, like, when someone says, oh, wow, you know, I'm like, bye. Yeah, go start your own channel then, and good luck. Good luck.
Matter of the state of Tennessee versus Angela Solomon, where she's charged with solicitation of first degree Class B felony.
Earlier today at the state baseball tournament, Lipscomb playing CPA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because a friend of mine has.
Where is it?
Actually, at my sister's field at Peace Providence Christian. They're getting to host that classification this year.
And where is that school again?
Providence, not far from Oakland High School, between Oakland and the sports complex, Murfreesboro. Yeah.
Did you stay till the end?
No, I had to leave. No, I know Lipscomb lost. CPA jumped out on them early and they won. But so Lipscomb is turning around and playing again right now in a elimination game.
Okay.
Yeah. But their first baseman is a junior, and I know his parents. His mom won a state title in basketball with my sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Lipscomb's coach who just.
Yeah, thanks, Tater. I was going to get to that. So this guy here on the screen is Brad Warren from the Warren Brothers, famous country music songwriter. He's written some huge, huge hits. And like I said, his son died from a overdose. So next, I'm going to play the 911 call just so y'all can hear it. This was one of my like OG stories or whatever you want to call it, TikToks.
He's 18. He just turned 18 a couple weeks, about a month ago. It's my son. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is not good.
Is he awake?
Oh, please hurry. I don't know. I don't think so. He's not alert, right? No, he's out. And he's trapped. I got 3 guys here, and he's trapped under the truck.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I understand, sir. Stay on the phone with me while we get somebody out there. What's your name?
Aaron Solomon.
All right, Aaron.
Huh?
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Toyota Tacoma, and it's the vehicle he's underneath the vehicle.
Okay, I've got that.
And it's.
Okay, I've got that. What color is it?
It's a white truck. That's my son. It's somehow it's backed up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on with 911 right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Was your son working on it?
No, he was just getting out of it. We're on an incline, and I guess he didn't have it in park or something, or it wasn't engaged, or. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe
still
this.
not responding?
No.
And he's still under the truck. No one can get
Yes.
out from under it.
No,
We've got units en route to you. I'm just asking you questions where we can update them, okay? Can you check and see if he's breathing?
Somebody's telling me that he's coming to.
Okay,
Maybe.
He is waking up,
Maybe.
kind of keeping still. So he is
Well, he
breathing?
can't move. I don't think he can move. I don't know.
Okay, I understand.
No, he can't move. He's trapped.
Okay, well, we got somebody en route. Now, when he wakes up, he might
I'm
be
telling him,
scared. Can somebody
I'm
just get
telling
down
it.
there and talk to him?
Tater's asking, but if he was at the back of the truck, why would it have rolled backwards and not forwards if he was going to run him over? I mean, it was a hill. I mean, the parking lot's like this. I'm going to go out there. It's like an hour drive, but I think it's a granite place now because I just want to see it. And I also want to go by the police department to try to get the report. Good old boys in Tennessee. But I mean, this was investigated. They decided to not go forward.
Yeah, somebody talked to him. Shit. There's blood. Wait, is he facing up or down? He's facing up. They said he may aspirate. We need to hurry. Oh my God.
So does he have blood coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, there's blood coming out. Yeah, somehow it drug him down, I think. I don't know whether it wasn't in heart or blood or if it didn't engage the brake or it drug him underneath somehow.
Okay.
They said he's facing up,
Okay.
but he's bleeding from his mouth. So, Grant, turn your face to the side if you can, barely, but be careful.
Don't move him, okay?
We can't move him. We can't move him. Oh my God.
All right, Houston, they're there. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I know y'all are having the same responses I did. Now, I just saw this the other night. I've been down the rabbit hole on this. If y'all haven't seen me much, it's because I've been doing this. This is on the Good Grief, Good God show. This was out about 9 months ago. And again, I'm just laying this all out here.
Of my son's death. I hadn't shed a tear. I hadn't raised my voice. I had squatted down and a cop came over and said, "Are you okay, sir?" And I said, "I don't know." I mean,
Right.
I don't know what okay is. What?
Oh, you're in
I was
shock.
very calmly.
You're in numb. The last thing on my mind was that he wouldn't be alive. I just knew it was bad, that we needed professionals.
Cynical Senders, did you watch the Karen Reed trial? The guy from ARCA? What do they call him? Crash Daddy?
Professionals there, not four dudes trying to pick up a truck. On the other side of things, people have been said, "Oh, he's too calm on the 911 call," or he's too calm at the funeral. My own mom and I had this conversation the other night. She watched one of these podcasts, and the podcasters are all in on one side, but they actually had a couple of attorneys on, and they played the 911 call.
He's 18. He just turned 18 a couple weeks, about a month ago. Oh my God, this is not good.
Is he awake?
Oh, please hurry.
Of course, the two podcast people were like, "Oh, look, doesn't that sound horrible?" And the two attorneys that deal with this kind of stuff all the time in real court, in real life, are like, "No, this 911 call sounds like a lot of other 911 calls."
About a father who witnessed his son get run over by a car. Perhaps that's what we do as human nature. We say, "Oh my God, I guess he didn't put it in park," trying to give an explanation of why something happened. I don't have a problem with him saying that. And I mean, he called 911 and he's providing something. I guess this is what happened.
And my own mom was like, I know you, and I knew that you were not well. Like you were freaking out, but trying to stay calm.
He's faking, or there's just no.
And at the funeral, I almost lost it a couple times.
I have felt great grief all week because there is great love for Grant Rhodes Huffine Solomon.
Now, look, I know y'all are going to be like, "You're trying to defend him." I feel like everything has been so cited for Angie. It was like annoying. I listened to podcasts all weekend of these people from like 2023 that covered this. You have to remember, he's also a trained like news anchor kind of person, and he's a man. But I agree. I would have been down there doing whatever my damnedest I could on the concrete with my child. But people react differently.
Grant, I will always love you.
But I also wanted to try to be strong.
Oh yeah, STS is going to be all on this one. But I'm your hometown girl. Okay? I'm your hometown girl. Boots on the ground right here. Guess who was in the courtroom today? Aaron, his mom, his sister, his attorney, and Leslie B.
So was trying to be strong and supportive for my ex-wife and my daughter and my son, and share awesome stories about him that people didn't know. And
Let me just say this. When I arrived at the scene of my son's death, I had a call that he wasn't breathing. I knew that it wasn't good, but I'm praying
Right.
yelling at God mostly, or to him, begging him for another chance at this thing. And I pull up and I'm greeted.
Okay, this guy's pretty chill. I really like him, but I want to show y'all the comments. I mean, people want Aaron dead. This man is a psychopath. He 100% murdered his son. The way he looks around trying to find words. The kids were trafficked. Their names advertised on T-shirts. It's advertising grant for trafficking. I mean, I'm telling you, it's all over the place. Okay. So now let's go to my next video I made, which is a little bit about their divorce, because I don't think a lot of people have gone down this one. And thank you, Melissa. You're so sweet. I had a hard time deciding which files, because there are like over 300, like I mentioned, on the civil docket in Davidson, Nashville County. And you got to go through and redact and all this stuff. So I just picked a couple things to show y'all. Oh, thanks, Judel. So Aaron filed for divorce against Angelia. Okay. So this is 2013. So let's also go back. They apparently went to high school together and then they started dating. I don't know if they slid into DMs or what. Grant was born and then they got married like 5 or so months after he was born. Okay. So then we've got, these are not in a great order. I didn't have time, but like I said, dad had primary custody. She goes to court wanting extra time so that she can actually go to their extracurricular activities. Okay. I'm not going to read through all this. I mean, y'all, it would take a month. Then this is recently, Angie had taken him to court. She wants some child support. She was supposed to be paying him just shy of $1,500 a month. And she wants some for when she was getting the kids more. I mean, this is still going on, y'all. One kid's dead and one is like 19 now. And his attorney was like, okay, well, let's go. Let's do that. Let's go look at child support. So you're saying he owes you this? Let's see what you owe him. And you can see here. So she was supposed to pay $14.94 a month. Look at this, in arrears. So in 2017, she owes him $17,928. Then she made some payments over $8,000. Then in 2017, a judgment for unpaid child support, including interest, over $44,000. Then 8 more payments. Then after 2017, she owes $56,000. Let me get to the final page. So this is where we are. This was just recently, I think, filed not long ago. Then this is all the other child support based on interest accruing. So $79,000, then interest, more interest, $124,000 is what she owes. And she was like, oh, fine, I'll drop my charge. And the attorney was like, no, you want to file it? Let's file it. Then there was also some allegations. So this was a restraining order. There were these back and forth. So he had filed a restraining order because he went and picked them up from the house. Remember, he had 80% custody, and she was writing all these things on Facebook. Today I'm swamped trying to get money to continue the search. Aaron stole them. I mean, there's been defamation suits. God and your prayers will bring them home. Just goes on talking about, she's like, I've got to get money, right? So she's about the money. I've got to get the money, $17,000. So then she went at some point to Davidson, Nashville, said, I'm seeking to order protection against my husband. He, on May 10th, tried to hung me with a blow dryer cord in the bathroom of our home. Well, this contradicts, because she went to a mental hospital and it showed that she tried to take her own life with this. Remember, her parents sided with him and they were trying to get her to go to the mental hospital. But then again, this is just more about her trying to get more time. She believes it's in the best interest, and he would give her time, and then it would kind of come back to bite him. I was trying to find the part where they got the mental intervention team. This is child support. Anyhow, but there was some child support relief. Then let's also look in 2021. She got in trouble in Coffee County, Tennessee, which is a little over an hour or so from here. There was a former deputy that she had dated, and she was texting him. And he had been receiving harassing text messages from an old acquaintance wanting a report made. And then she started texting this guy's girlfriend. Let's see, talked with the guy and the girlfriend. See, I had to go and redact this stuff. Both advised me they've been receiving harassing messages from Angie Solomon. 37 text messages to the girlfriend between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. And this is in 2021. And she wrote, "If you do not talk to me, I will continue to blow up your phone with messages. You're going to be arrested. You're going to lose your badge. I've contacted the FBI." So blah, 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 blah. So they send another deputy. Okay. Again, I think I know this is all bizarre, but this is going to be crazy. True crime wifey, I would have somehow lifted the car off my son. I don't know how, but God would have given me the strength, right? The same strength Melody Ferris gave her to drag her husband to the burn pile. I agree. Now, this is also interesting. Aaron's like 5'7", and the son is like 6'2" or something, I think, allegedly. I don't know. Yeah, the kind of strength. Yeah, I mean, you can have that kind of strength. Yeah, she's been married before. Yep. Maybe. Armand Huffines explains her condition. Yeah, I would have been under there holding my son too. And he has said that he didn't think this was like he was going to die. He just knew it was serious. I think it's all very strange. Oh, but Melissa, the child support was before he died. So that was like back in 2017, 18. Oh, thank you, my dog named Bo. Yeah, Tennessee. People love Tennessee. Thank you, Bo. That's very kind. Aw, you're so sweet, True Crime Buffy. Thank you so much. You know, I had a one-sided view here. I know, and I did too. I mean, I will tell you, I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, "Have you seen all this?" And she's like, "Let me tell you, like, have you looked? Have you gone deep on all that?" Because when you go back to all the podcasts, it's all about just Angie and just it's about the saying abuse, but they never mention all the divorce files and the custody. And like I said, it can take two to tango. Yeah, definitely toxic, toxic, toxic. Yeah, the GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe is dry apparently. Cynical. Funny you asked that. Was Angelia one of the pharmacists that abused prescription drugs? I don't know. I've asked people that. I happen to know another pharmacist who used to work with her, and she's like, could not get away from her fast enough. Let me tell y'all, Nashville is what we call a big hometown. It's a big hometown. It's a big city, but it's got a small little network. Yeah, it is nuts. So okay, so then she was arrested last April of 2025 on trying to hire the hitman. So I'm going to show you this. And I just took snippets out because it was a long bond hearing. It was almost 2 hours, but I've got the closed captions on. They're not perfect. I mean, at one point it said penis or something. I was like, that is not what was said. But this was in May of 2025. So she had been in jail a few weeks.
Mr. Ferguson in the matter of the state of Tennessee versus Angela Lee.
And this judge, I think, is very fair. So she came in, cuffed, and her attorneys were like, can she be uncuffed? And the deputy's like, look, it's really our jail policy. They're cuffed. And the judge is like, undo them. It's okay. I don't know many judges that.
Solomon, where she's charged with solicitation of first-degree murder or Class B felony. For the purpose of this preliminary hearing, how does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Gentlemen, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. State will call.
Oh, yeah, but there's a motion to dismiss, and I'm going to read that. I got the motions emailed to me today from a new friend at the courthouse, and they're saying it's entrapment. But she might go away just a few years. I mean, maybe up to 8.
Special Agent Sean Atkins, their first witness.
Kristen, girl, I was waiting. If I was going to walk in there and see Emily D. Baker, I already was like, I'm going to get an autograph for Kristen. But she wasn't there. So I don't know if she'll cover it. I don't think a lot of people knew about this hearing today, except for the news channels. Now, this was her bond hearing in May of 2025. They do get it lowered, and she makes bond, but she has some very, very strict rules.
Go ahead, sir.
And Your Honor, the defense asked to be heard regarding bond, and we will have one witness.
We'll talk about it at the end.
Thank you.
So this is the TBI agent getting sworn in. So he was the undercover, TBI's Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. He was the undercover agent that was pretending to be the hitman. And he meets with her over at Cool Springs Mall at Macy's parking lot. And at the end of this, I show you the footage. I went and I did the whole route today. I'm like, where's the Chili's and the shoe store and all the things he talks about.
And Your Honor, I guess also for the record, the defense filed a motion to compel regarding search warrants. We notified Mr. Burleson yesterday that there are no search warrants in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, based on that, Mr. I'm talking to the skinny microphone.
I have not met Emily D. Baker, but I know she lives in Williamson County, so she's not far from me. I mean, we have very different lives. Like, she's got kids in high school, but I'm not into that. But I haven't ever seen her. I appreciate her commentary, but to follow a trial with her, it's just too much. It's just too much pausing. But I do love her commentary, and I appreciate that. She's a good brand.
And if we could swear in the witness.
Oh, you guys have quit interrupting. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth?
I do.
Have a seat. Speak into the little skinny mic there and it'll amplify your voice. Pull that short mic closer to you. That's what's going to record you for the record.
All right.
You did call for the roll.
Your Honor, the state's witnesses are out.
Then I think that's covered.
All right. If you would, please state your name for the record, please.
My name is Sean Atkins.
All right. And where do you work?
I work for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
And how long have you been there?
This is my 15th year.
Did you have any law enforcement experience prior to TBI?
Prior to TBI, I worked for the United States Secret Service as a uniformed division officer.
Late March, early April of this year, was TBI contacted by the Franklin Police Department regarding Angie Solomon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were you asked to participate in that investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your role supposed to be in that investigation?
I was informed that my role would be to go undercover and portray myself as a hitman for hire.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what day did you do that?
It was April 11th.
Okay. And that's of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And where did that take place?
In Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay. And where specifically?
At the mall here in Franklin, Cool Springs.
Okay. Is that in Williamson County?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you would, just kind of tell us how you were set up that day. Where were you at the mall?
Okay. We were in a vehicle. I was in the back seat and we parked.
Okay. No, Justice Jane, Emily lives in Tennessee where I am. I'm not in Florida, but people think I am because people cover a lot of Florida cases because it's easy to get documents online. That's why people cover Florida. So I'm going to let him run through what he did, and I am going to go refresh my beverage.
Outside of the Macy's, where the shoe store is, but closer to the perimeter road that goes around the mall.
Okay, all right. And were you in the vehicle with someone else?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that a confidential informant?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay. And at some point, did you all make a connection with Angie Solomon?
Yes, the informant made a phone call to her to let her know that we were there.
Okay. And at that point, did she come to meet with you in person?
Yes, ma'am. She backed out of a parking spot, drove up, and I instructed her to park a couple rows over so she could walk up to us.
Okay. Now, backing up a little bit, were you wired for audio?
Yeah, I had a recorder transmitter on me. We had two of them going. I had one going so that my RAC team could hear me in case they needed to come and rescue me and the informant.
Okay. All right. And tell us a little bit about your first connection with Miss Solomon.
Again, she parked her car two rows away. She got out, walked up, and got in the passenger seat of the vehicle, and I instructed her not to turn around, and that's how we carried on our conversation.
Okay. And this entire conversation was recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to today's date, have you reviewed that recording?
Yes, ma'am.
Did TBI provide a copy of that recording to the state of Tennessee?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, the state would like to play the recording. We are going to be starting at the 5-minute and 22-second mark. We have that keyed up. We have talked to Mr. Burleson.
Any objection, Mr. Burleson? Okay, you can play it.
Hey,
Okay, that's okay. The confidential informant on the phone. So rumor is, and I have pretty much proven this online, but I'm not going to put it out there. This guy who's a teenager was a graduate supposedly of Grace Christian Academy, who was an acquaintance, and that Angie asked him, I don't know if he would do it or if he knew somebody who could do it. And the kid went straight to the popo, and here we go with the investigation. But apparently when this played in court, everybody was like, oh my God, that's so-and-so. I'm not going to say his name. Justice Jane, you're in the Great Smoky Mountains. I love it there. Yeah, True Crime Wifey. I want to be in Florida. Y'all are very sweet. Thank y'all.
in the car. You see where I am? No. No. Where are you looking? All right, I'm kind of in front of Macy's, but I'm like in front of Chili's near the shoe station, but like in the parking lot.
Judge, can you hear it okay?
I can hear fine.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I'm just over here by, and, oh wait, there's a, wait, you said Chili's?
Yeah, you know, like,
Is there a Chili's down there?
yeah. Yeah, I wanted to park a little bit away.
Oh, wait, I wonder if they know.
Oh, there you go.
Tell her to park down and walk up a little bit.
Oh, he just said park down and walk up a little bit. Don't park next to it.
Okay, so park right left or?
Yeah, park to the right. Yeah, don't park in the same row as us. All right. All right.
Over here?
Yeah,
Yeah, he said that's fine.
The audio will get better. That was the phone call.
Mrs. Solomon.
And do you see her here today?
Yes, sir.
Can you point her out for us, please?
She's right there in orange.
Identify the defendant.
Yes, sure.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, so they're in Macy's parking lot over there at the Cool Springs Galleria. And he had her leave her car and come get in his car, probably because it's mic'd up. And just listen to her.
born on his next first. Son says he's in custody, says he's more qualified. He's drugged and raped her, and raped me. That's how Grant got here. We trade my children for Anthony. Another in jail, in prison without walls. He was supposed to do that. Zach Chris again. Even though Grace has no contact, she can't get it because of the way his attorney operates. They can't get protection. They're dangerous. They've off other people. They have they call it suicide here in Nashville. And I know we're based on all of this.
You keep saying they. Who is it?
It's good on one network here. So that's part of who he operates with. That good old boy network.
Okay, this good old boy network, as she is saying, is the governor of Tennessee, a state senator, Haggerty. She just thinks Aaron's in cahoots with all of them, and that all this is going on.
He's involved in sex trafficking, pedophilia, they traffic Gracie, they traffic. He's involved, so they have a much larger industry than just being attorneys. The governor, the attorney generals, maybe pastors of large congregations and churches, children being taken, being drugged with ketamine, they're being raped and molested, and they don't know, they can hear, they can't move. And we would say,
So the alleged hitman's like, so what's going on? And she's going into all this. I mean, right off the bat.
I'm sitting on the red carpet in 60 school in Nashville. And here it's the same thing together, right? Drug them, rape them, and then he killed Grant in cold blood after we found out that Grant was going to go to court because they stripped me, they took the children from me.
I think her defense is going to be a mental defense based on what I heard today, but I'll tell you about that.
So they're children from me, continue to be Grace as law. And
Well, what do you need from me?
Okay. Hey, Andrew, Crimester. Dolly Parton shrimp and grits, really, really good. Chicken dumplings and beef roast, not so great. Chicken and dumplings, the best is Cracker Barrel. And have y'all ever bought this frozen shrimp and grits? I can't remember the brand, but it's so good.
Well,
like 5 to 8
I
years.
understand people still work. What I've seen the last, like, I have my own little program for justice. Problem is, what I've seen is that what he's proven in the last 6 months, because I filed child support and instead I dropped it, started to drop it, and then and what I found out is, you know, he's got teeth in it, he's never let go. You guys, it's like a counselor wants him.
Okay, so she just said he's got teeth in it and he's never letting go. So back up a few minutes to when I showed y'all the child support arrears. So she's freaking out. Oh, and the whole premise of this is Aaron was about to inherit $1 million from an aunt or an uncle. And then if he was gone, then Gracie would inherit it. So she talks about the trust. The trust.
Belongs to prison where it belongs.
Exactly, Matt.
And I mean,
Agent Atkins, what was that last part of what we heard?
We were discussing.
The general, that's what we call attorney generals in Nashville, in Tennessee. It's general. And she says, Agent Atkins, but it comes up in closed caption as Asian.
Discussing what she wanted done. And in that portion of the audio, she said that she wanted him under the ground or in the ground.
Okay. So those two choices in prison or under the ground, you want which one? Okay.
my daughter's from
And Agent Atkins, it was hard to hear there. What did she say in answer to your question?
It's under the ground.
I'm not able to hire Lori. I'm not saying I'm not going to my talk to you, but I'm just getting to the point where I can't do this. And we're going to be like that. That's all. He's already gone everything.
Right. You have any information? Like, who is this guy? What's his name?
His name is Angie Solomon.
Okay. You have a picture or anything?
I don't have one.
Okay.
I'm sure it's easy to Google.
Allegedly, some teenager Angie knew who I think went to school with the daughter. I don't know all this for sure, but it's been pretty much what I have found. She told him, and he said he knew someone, and he went to the police.
Where does he live?
We have his address. We have the address.
Oh, wow.
We have everything.
So you can text that stuff to Steve here.
He's got a router. So,
what other information can you tell me about? Yeah, like what's he drive?
He drives. I just meant to ask this question. Like, I feel like you'll be going to be able and I just said I wanted to run the ground. You're trustworthy, right? I mean, that's a stupid question.
I mean, listener, she's giggling. He's like, "What does she drive?" And she's like, "Oh." But he drives like a 15-year-old RAV4, for real.
I mean, there's trust going both ways here. That's why we're sitting in the middle of the parking lot, okay?
Yeah, I just don't know you, and I know you don't want me, and I don't want to know. And I don't want you to, you know what I mean?
The only contact we have is through Steve here. That's all I want.
That's perfect. You're not recording me or anything, so you can bust me.
I'd be worried about you doing that before me.
Well, that never happened. I'll tell you that right now. This conversation has never happened. And I've got two things disappearing, or is one, and the other would be their police officer. Of the, like, of it, and that allows the large trust and everything. Automatically follow crazy, but I'd rather, I don't care about the money. I think it's a legal thing.
Okay. Any way you want it done? What do you want me to do to him?
I want to do whatever you do. Look at someone.
I want you to do whatever you would do to someone who had great and sodomite. I mean,
and whatever you would do to our family, who took his son, we have an 18-year-old son out to a very, very remote location. Get him over the head.
okay, so she said it was a very, very remote location. I do want to point out the place in Gallatin, the baseball place. I mean, there were staff in there, like stuff was going on. I do feel like if he was going to do something, he would go somewhere a little more remote. I'm just saying.
With the tools that he could sanctuary, which is baseball, and stayed at the top of the hill and watched him. I knew that was like.
I got a few ideas.
Okay.
Does he live with anybody?
To my knowledge, no. I don't know his life. I know enough to know that he lives. He lives a millionaire's life. He lives.
Y'all, she's saying he lives like a millionaire. The guy lives in an apartment near Vanderbilt. Okay, he's not living the millionaire life. He drives a RAV4. No, and the million he inherited, it's all gone in legal fees. I know, True Crime Wifey, be dancing the fence. I know.
Highlights, so he's at Lifetime Fitness.
Cali gal.
At a certain time every day. That's, the bougie workouts. I know that where he lives, there's a lady in the back.
She says he goes to the Lifetime Fitness Center, that it's bougie. I mean, it's nice, but bougie. Cynical senders will all be sitting in the gallery at Wendy's trial. Yeah, they're going to need to rent us the FSU football stadium.
Fence, there it's gated, there's a way in the back fence.
What do you mean? There's like a gate in the back fence, or is it broken?
It must be broken. My friends, that's how we found where it was. So that's the little girl that you are free. She cannot live without fear. She even said she wants to put him in prison. She said, even if I do put him in prison, he can still make phone calls.
So you think I can?
So she's saying she wants to put him in prison and all this stuff, but they've gone to family dinners and things together, and even throughout Gracie's allegations when they were divorced, he would take him out to dinner for Grant's birthday. They would all be there.
Get in the back fence like that? It's not like a small hole, it's something that a man can get through.
I know people who've gotten into drugs, two vehicles. One is, I guess what we call now an older model.
Older model. Yeah. I would love nothing more than to plan our reunion or unification in Trescott and Tally. I'll let True Crime Wifey plan out the map, and I'll do all the social details.
It's maroon. It's
So, Kristen, he was a sports broadcaster with Channel 4 NBC affiliate here in Nashville, but he is now like a financial planner with one of the big financial firms.
It's a Toyota, like 4-door.
She don't even know the damn car he has. Armand, does she have the money? No, just wait till he gets to that. And the guy's like, hey, I ain't working for charity. She has nothing.
Little,
Sedan or SUV?
like that white car over there.
Well, she has her PhD in pharmacology, right? I mean, she could be making a nice living.
Like it's a little SUV, and on the back,
She gets disability, and I don't know if that's for her or for the daughter or what, because of anxiety or something. I don't know that for sure.
says love like rain. He drives around with that. Yeah. I think it's LL brand, but it will say brand. The other one is a Tacoma, charcoal gray. And it is, I have the plates on that. It is on both collections. But it is a newer model, King Cab. Charcoal gray Toyota. That was a yeah, that's the other. Now he could have other vehicles, but those are the ones that we know. The gated community is in a bougie part of Nashville, but in the back of that gated,
Y'all, it is not bougie. I'm just telling y'all. I mean, it's kind of in town, but I would not say bougie at all.
community is a fence or either a break in the fence. Because the only way we found him was in Tulsa.
Okay, so he lives in the gated community and that's the fence that has the break in it? Okay, so there's like, you don't have an independent fence here in his backyard?
No, he is now in a condo complex. It's like a high rise. And he's 133.
Okay, so I guess that's on the first floor or?
I wonder, I don't know, but I got captured in Tulsa. I would assume that's the first floor. I'm not been in that place. I don't know. He works at.
No, that is actually not the bailiff, but it's like the court. I don't know what you call him in Nashville, but he's there like the judge's right-hand guy.
Supposedly works for Merrill Lynch and supposedly works for
No, Tater, this is like on 21st Avenue down from where Friedman's used to be. It's this apartment complex that's been rebranded a million times. It is not bougie.
location, which is somewhere. We've been wanting to be moved to the location, but he also still goes downtown to Merrill Lynch location, which has the high-rise and garages.
And yeah, so the next question, have the parking at that condo where he lives, is it open like this, or is it like a parking complex?
My understanding, the people that there's one vehicle that's closest to the unit. There's one parking spot, 133, close to the unit, and then usually the truck is parked further away.
Okay, so the parking spots correspond to there. Okay, all right. You don't have a gate code to get in there or anything?
I mean, all we have, I just know that I know multiple people besides my friend that have access to these vehicles from from something in the back of the day. And also, like I said, he is very easy to like tell because he's been telling someone times that he doesn't even realize it. So he's at Lifetime Fitness, we usually get a call.
Did she just say he's been tailed so many times he doesn't even realize it?
But he's out here at Lifetime, just on the side watching. And then when he leaves, he just goes to our news. That's how we found out they follow him.
Okay. You want him to know where this is coming from? Okay.
And then what I want is no way. I mean, just tell me. Because I could have done this so a long time ago, already. But right now, I have to worry about this. Tell me I didn't do it because I didn't want to go to jail if they had to have me. So it just can't be traced back, right?
All right, that's why we're going through this out. After you get out of here, you'll never see me again. Am I mean? I can be mean.
I love this agent. Yeah, you're never going to see me again. Am I mean? I can be mean. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick and Charlie. Ooh. Oh, Tater. I know Dr. Fleming. His son was a good friend of my son's.
You want me to be mean? Okay.
He thinks he's about 5'8", with shoes on the field.
Yeah, 5'8" with shoes on. I mean, I sat behind Aaron today in court. He's a little guy.
And he thinks he is God.
Okay. So slow is better than quick.
Yes.
All right.
He likes to oppress and he likes to wield power over women
Stokes.
by drugging them and having it right. But I'm here for my daughter.
Tater, Stokes dated a girl that was our neighbor for years. And we took Stokes to an Auburn, Georgia game, but that's a story for another day.
My son and her.
And Auburn spanked Georgia's ass.
We have grandchildren right now. Just getting ready to go to university. And,
Whoa, that's something.
what I've learned right now, they've got me locked up in case again.
They got me locked up in a case. Okay, this is the child support because you were seeking $8,000 and you owe them $124 or something.
The teeth are in. He's not. He is a psychopath. I had a psychiatrist watching in court, and he bounced him the way his mannerisms and everything. He was a psychopath.
So she just says she had a psychiatrist watch him in court and they said he's a psychopath. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I've watched enough doctors' interviews. Ain't nobody diagnosing nobody based on that.
We all know what they do. My daughter says he's a prophet from Jeffrey Dahmer and
Same cynical.
I was good with boys, and so I'm just going to pay that money today. I'm going to forward
So I did clip some pieces together, so it might seem a little splotchy. Oh.
I just don't know how to, I don't know how to, I don't know even if you would tell me that that's the thing that's, for me. We'll still be filing.
Yeah.
For his estate, even if he just disappeared. So those money will be coming.
Well, something like this, about 5,000. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but
So he says, how much is, she's like, how much is this? He's like, 5,000. I mean, y'all, the Adelsons would have been all over this. And she's like, huh, that's all?
he's worth it. He's not worth it.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry, but let me just tell you something.
it's a risk I'm taking.
I pray for hate. I hate. I mean, when this person is like, that you've taken, this is like back in the olden days, the way the judges were taking a lot of other people's lives, and a lot of other people, right? And a lot of children that I know personally. Say,
Yeah.
okay, well,
If we're talking about paying later, I'm gonna need something to hold, and you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, she definitely does not have a stack of cash. I mean, girlfriend has nothing. Nothing. No, Tater, I don't know her, but the name rings a bell.
Like some kind of promise, like
Her maiden name.
vehicle, a freaking house note, something.
Marianne. And the agent's like, how are you going to pay me? Like, I'm not doing charity. So what do you have?
I'm keeping close today. It's pretty clear. I don't have a house phone. I'm a pharmacist. So I don't pay you, once I got. Like I got a really I'm just in a really large position.
She's on leave now is what she's saying. Oh, by the way, her wages got garnished. I have all that paperwork too, but I hadn't redacted it yet. But she's promising this, but he don't want to get stiffed.
Which would not cause me any problem. I have a personal word. I know that.
So you're a pharmacist? Like a pharmacist, not like a tech or a
No,
you're
I'm
like,
a 28-year pharmacist.
okay.
Yeah, and I just had yesterday for a position in the executive branch of the National Health Care Company, which would allow me, it'd be the most money I've ever made in my life.
Would that put you in contact with any narcotics?
The DBI agent's like, oh, could you get narcotics? Like, maybe we can tack on another charge here.
No, I'm out of that.
You're out of that.
I'm not in the pharmacy.
Okay. You have anything you can give me in good faith? Like anything? Because you're talking a trust in millions. I'm pretty sure once you get that, I'd get my 5,000.
I'm not gonna pay you 5,000. I don't pay any trust. But I would have to be. I don't understand how we exchange. We have to be so careful.
Oh yeah, well,
I do think.
When we go through Steve here,
I do think knowing the good old boys, it would be better if you did like. Because they are every audition of every attorney in the state.
So yeah, she's saying every politician, every attorney in the state is against her. She also, I don't think I have it on this part, but she also wants to have the judge taken out, as well as I think the prosecutor, or maybe it was Aaron's attorney. No, she has no jewelry. She has nothing. She does promise a Range Rover later.
Or has to live in the same fishbowl. And you said that they're going to come talk to them. And right now, I am disabled because of my head injuries and everything from it. And that's what it was like. Okay.
She's, I am discipled. I think it was, I am disabled because of my head injuries. Okay.
But I work as a pharmacist. It's all.
Yeah.
So when they come to me, I have nothing. I have nothing. Don't worry, I have nothing. Right now, we all just got bumped off. I work for this job. I was just doing it. So pharmacy bill. We all just got bumped off of that. So I literally would say, there's no equity, there's no equity involved. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I've ever met with a hitman. I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I did be like, look, here's the mofo's name. Da, 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 da. I'm not going to be like,
We're hanging on here in Franklin. So, but I, this sounds so lame. But I would give you my word that I'll pay you double.
oh, I'll give you my word. I will pay you double. So she's going to pay him 10 grand.
Yeah. As long as it can't be traced back to me as it is, I still think the best thing is to disappear it. Don't use that as far as then we don't look like we're going after it. Because the first thing that happened if he passed, let's say tomorrow, that's Republican, then Gracie would immediately file for, an attorney would file for Gracie for, what's that?
See, now she's talking about like, how is Gracie going to get this trust? How is she going to get, because if they just make him disappear, then at what point? Like, you got to prove someone's DEAD, right? So how are we going to do this so that Gracie can get her money?
Friends of the county, and they would immediately go find all the building. It's there. We know it's there. But you have to have proof, is my understanding. And so I don't know how long disappeared takes, but I do know this, she'll get ready to file anyway for this. She'll file against this state after so much time.
Do you have any cash or anything? You do it on ATM or give me anything down?
So broke.
She says, I'm so broke.
Any jewelry, anything of value that you could give me to?
I sold every.
Oh, I also should mention she and Aaron have filed bankruptcy 3 times.
Literally, I learned how to. I grew up with silver spoon. I'm not really proud of that, but I learned him and my brother would work together.
Cynical Senders, that is the question of the night. And that is something I have wondered all day. All day.
Take me in and they put me on my back. And I learned how to friend and they taught me how to sell anything that looked good. Everything I had it, yeah. In 2013, I had a look. And I woke up the next morning with my children paid for the events. And I went to the bank to try to get money and withdraw.
So she also had a court appointed like chaperone to visits, and she wrote her checks. She had to pay her and they bounced.
So I've not rebought my jewelry yet. That's on my list. And
she's going to rebuy her jewelry.
Expensive things, I like them. It's on my list. I drive Bessie over there because he's sentimental because Grant ran into her so many times with his truck. And that's where he learned to drive. Other than that, I'm going to have a Range Rover.
So that's the only vehicle you got?
Yeah. But that vehicle is worth about, it's worth if you sold it outright cash, it's worth about $45,000. It just, but that vehicle, I'm having a problem with that. Because then I could,
What about giving me the registration until we settle this up?
That's what George and I thought. I don't even have. I have to. Well, I have the registration.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not talking about the owner. Gosh, I'm afraid to do it. I don't mind getting it, but I'm afraid to do it in my name.
Yeah,
Can y'all imagine Luis Rivera and Sigfredo sitting in an SUV with Donna and Harvey and Charlie, Lindy, like outside of Macy's? Just envision that and this whole conversation going down and everybody pulling out their pennies.
Afraid of getting stiff. That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm not going to do this. I think that I just don't have access right now.
Does he have money on him? Like a safe or? Anything of value in his condo?
Heck yeah.
Does he have a safe? Heck yeah. Is it like Charlie's safe, the size of a fridge? No. I mean, y'all, does she even know he has a safe? I seriously doubt this man's safe. Oh my God, I just blew snot out of my eyes. Hold on.
I'm sure he's got safe. Sure he's got, I know he's got guns. He's got drugs. Oh, he's got everything. Yeah. There's all, I mean, so yes. And he carries, he always carries, or here, okay? This hasn't changed. He likes to open that wallet and it looked like he is.
Yes, here for today, a pro bono hitman. So she does have a pro bono attorney from Beverly Hills.
Proactive. The $100 bills, the little formula. These wallets, $100 bill, flat. And they'll have this little twins and tens in front, you know, so when he opens it, he's got a flip through on the, and I don't know, I know that his master background is what the kid said he did under the cabinet. I'm assuming that also means money. If just the two, if he still has them, I have having two side tables on each side of his bed. Very important.
The best was today when her attorney's like, yes, Your Honor, we're going to need a mental evaluation and we've got some doctor's appointments. I was like, you know what? That is good. And then the state's like, we're going to need a forensic evaluation on that.
Very important areas. And
Oh, his name is Darren Ritchie, Melissa. Beverly Hills.
And I don't know what he uses. I've been told it's cocaine. I've never seen it.
This is her attorney. Darren Ritchie. He doesn't look like that. I mean, this might be a little older. But supposedly it's pro bono. I think he has a Tennessee office too. I don't know.
I know he wants something that he would have to see. So, and now he's got all of this money. So, somewhere in there, he's got cash that he can just grab and keep that wallet for. Now, I know there's also cards that access his bank account, but that's traceable. So that's a piece.
I don't want to leave our meeting here without something. You know what I'm saying? Either something to make sure that you follow through with what you're promising me. So is there? I mean, and I know you're saying that you about trusting and paperwork and all this stuff. You know, I'd feel a lot more comfortable leaving here with the registration of that vehicle. You know, I mean, right now I'm putting all the skin in the game.
Yeah.
With nothing to show for it. You know? So.
Doesn't that guy kind of look like a hitman? I mean, I think I would kind of think he was. True Crime Wifey says, Angie is as full of shit as a Christmas turkey here. My mom's favorite saying when we were trying to fool her.
That was him. This was the year before he killed him, and then Gracie versus.
Oh, Melissa knows who the attorney is. I know exactly where he's located. He's got a horrible review. Maybe that's why he's having to come to Nashville, but I can't tell y'all how bad it is. And next, we're going to go over my notes for today. And I got a new notebook, and look, it's got all these dogs on it. So we're gonna go over that.
Female, so she looks totally different, but that's.
I mean, she's out of the vehicle to get the registration for the vehicle.
Okay, so I'll just wrap this part up. So basically, she has no money. So she's like, here, he's like, can you give me your car registration? Because he's got to have some kind of exchange of something. Now, registration is not a title, as we know, but it's something. So, oh my God, I just noticed there is one of those binder clips on the microphone. That's classic. So let's just forward sort it to the end.
Hey, hello. I'm just gonna say I don't believe it.
I like it when he goes, well, we need to wrap this up.
I'm gonna tell him, I'm saying, you know what, I looked at her, I don't believe God. I don't believe anything he's attorney said, I don't believe anything. But I have nothing. And I'm offended that they're at my house, so they come to talk. Okay.
You know what's the cutest thing with this notebook? It's got like thread that's like embroidered, like their little hats and ears. That's so cute.
It's gonna have to take a while for me to do this approval, because it's not like it.
As long as you know what's gonna happen when you walk out of this car, that's all I need to know. Okay?
And then you got that, and then you also have the card, which you also have one when, see what you can post, but I'm sure that will take a while, so I don't want to be like coming after me.
Yeah, I understand that part's gonna take a minute.
It'll take a minute.
So her attorney makes a motion to dismiss and is like, they should have ordered a mental eval on her after that exchange.
No, they don't, because trust you.
Okay, that'll work.
Not trust you.
All right. I'm not talking about what I've done before. But I think we're done here, and you need to be on your way.
Yeah, get the hell out of my car, woman. Okay, I got to get into Macy's, and I got to get back to the TBI headquarters.
All right, you can go.
Hey, this lady in the red blazer, she's the general, the ADA or whatever you want to call it, but they call him General in Tennessee. And she's a badass. And you know what? That's the same blazer she had on today.
And Agent Atkins, about what time of the day did all this occur?
Approximately between 2 and 3 p.m.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Oh no, I don't mean wrap. I just meant wrapping up this portion. We got more. Don't worry, we got plenty more.
Thank you.
Capper Keepers were the best. Those commercials. But my mom wouldn't buy them. She's like, no, it's not good. I got the like denim chambray notebooks that you would write with paint pen.
Agent Atkins, I want to talk to you about how this investigation began, okay?
Okay.
When was this situation first
This is not her attorney today, by the way. I don't know who this guy is.
brought to your attention?
My boss called me on Thursday the 10th and asked if I could help the Criminal Investigation Division of TBI with a murder for hire investigation.
And your boss being?
Dan Ogle.
And who?
Pardon me?
Who is he?
He's the SAC over the Drug Investigation Division for Middle Tennessee.
And SAC is?
A special agent in charge.
Your Honor, that'll be the state's proof for purposes of the preliminary hearing. We do have a witness regarding bond.
Okay.
There goes the TBI agent. It just shows you can never drudge. When I was in that little jury trial, and I know y'all are like sick of me talking about it, but I will always talk about it. The TBI agents, I mean, the sleeve tattoos. And I have been looking online at jobs for TBI. I mean, they have administrative assistant. Hell, I'd love it. That would be the best money they ever spent.
You swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Have a seat. Stop there. Small
Oh
mic.
shit, I don't think I slowed this down. This is Melanie Hicks. This is Angie's best friend.
Stay close to you, recording your voice.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but y'all tell me what y'all are picking up. I'm not going to say anything because I don't need another cease and desist.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Melanie Hicks, Hicks.
Do you currently live in Williamson County?
I do.
And specifically here in Franklin?
Yes, sir. I do.
Now, do you know Mrs. Solomon?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know her?
We've been friends for about 15 years. Our children attended Grace Christian Academy together. Angie was my son's coach at one point.
I also want to tell y'all, I went to a private Christian school. My child went to a private Christian school through 6th grade, and then he went to just a private school, nothing religious affiliated. The private Christian schools, you better stay on guard.
Our kids played ball together, and we became good friends over the years.
And so you've known her for 15 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, she's lived in Williamson County.
Yes, she's lived in Williamson County many years. Yes.
And to your knowledge, does she have a daughter that lives with her?
Yes, she does.
Is she in Williamson County Schools?
Yes, she is. Yes.
Now,
Melanie is so nervous. She should get nervous.
obviously, Ms. Solomon's been unable to make bond to this point. To your knowledge, does she have any ability to make bond in the amount currently set?
I do not believe so, sir.
So Melanie is committing a crime against eyeliner. We have talked about this, ladies. When you hit 50, or even a little before, you got to ditch the black eyeliner. Okay. This is where style meets justice. You got to go plum. Okay. It's what I wear. It's plum. Black eyeliner. And especially not just like halfway on the waterline. No bueno.
To your knowledge, does she have any ability to make bond or access to bond?
I don't believe so, sir. Maybe very little, just from a few family and friends, but very little.
And now,
I mean, look how nervous Melanie's like doing this, like under the. I mean, I don't know where her hands are, but it's like this. Her purpose. So, the bond was at 500,000 at this point, so they're trying to get it reduced because Angie's been in jail. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks at this point, trying to get it reduced because Angie's broke and she needs to make bond. So this is a character witness.
to your knowledge, Ms. Solomon will reside in Franklin when she's released.
And Melanie Hicks is supposedly, I think, Angie's best friend.
Correct.
Yes, her roots are here in Franklin. She has her friends and support system are here. Her daughter attends school here and is very supportive of her daughter. Her daughter is very rooted here as well. She has a 4.5 GPA.
Okay, her daughter has a 4.5 GPA. Well, hell, let her out. Hell, we don't need a bond. Your daughter's got a 4.5. What does that have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with it. Okay, has nothing to do with it.
School, and Angie provides that sole foundation for her. Also, their son, her son is buried, Grant is buried about 5 minutes away, and Angie tends to his grave regularly. So he is here as well. So her children are rooted here, and she is rooted here as well.
How close do you live from where she would be residing?
Maybe 15 minutes. Mhm.
Allegedly, it is rumored that Angie lives in something that this lady owns and she rents from her if she pays the rent. Allegedly. I don't know. That's what I've heard.
How often do you see each other?
She's rubbing something. Just saying.
Weekly?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. How often would you say you speak by phone or?
I'd say, probably every other day. So we're good friends. Yes.
Are you confident that amount of contact will continue?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Solomon, which you to be released on bond, will have most likely have 4 dates that you will need to attend.
Okay.
Did you to ensure that she's aware of those court dates.
Absolutely. I will support her and getting her to those court dates or whatever's needed.
Okay. And if for whatever reason she
Mm.
was broken down or
Melissa, that's a great point. Clearly was traumatized by all the SA with a 4.5 GPA. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this live stream, but I really wanted the whole story told because there has not been the whole story. I have listened to the podcasts. I've been in the rabbit hole. True Crime Wifey's texting me like, "Hey, where are you?"
to get court, could you help provide transportation?
Absolutely. Be happy to.
Would you be able to contact her, remind her of the upcoming court date?
Certainly. I would do that.
Do you see
Hey,
any
little
reason
miss.
that you wouldn't be able to assist in any way possible to ensure her presence here in court?
No, not at all. Thank you.
So she just gets questioned by the defense, right? She's like, "I'm out of here." So she's picking up, like she's carrying like, I don't know, a checkbook. Who carries that? Her phone and her keys. And the judge is like, "No, no, no, you got to be cross-examined."
Oh,
Please, ladies, you can ask your question.
I apologize.
That's all cross-examination.
Okay.
I just love that we're having some good shit in Tennessee.
Good morning.
If Ms. Solomon was released on bond, where would she be living?
She would go back to her current home.
And where is that?
That is here in Franklin.
Okay. And are you familiar with where she lives?
Yes, I am.
Does she own or is she renting?
She's renting.
She's renting when she pays rent. Hey, Angie, I think she had an eviction notice recently. I don't know that though. Just hearsay, allegedly. Hey, Angie, let's baking. You're going to hear her name a lot in this one.
And do you know when that lease expires?
I do not.
And you talked about whether or not she would have access to make.
This is a whole lot to unpack. I'm doing good to even be at 2 hours at this point. There's a lot of information, but I wanted to bring this case to light because this is going to be a big, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a big one.
Bond with any money. Are you aware of the GoFundMe accounts that she has?
I am.
And are you aware of the balance in those accounts?
No, I am not.
And do you know if she
Now, Kim, they're not Hicks. I live not far from where these people live. Actually, this is the county I live in. This is Williamson County, and this is the Solomon case. There's civil stuff, there's criminal stuff, and I'm going to go to all of it because you know why? I'm not working.
has or where the money from those GoFundMe accounts have gone?
I do not.
And are you aware that at one point there was over $100,000 in those accounts?
So from what I understand, the GoFundMe was exclusively for her son's murder investigation.
You know,
Do you hear that? For the murder investigation. It was not. It was never indicted or anything. They researched it. I mean, Gallatin, Tennessee. I mean, this is not like total, like ridiculous backwoods. I agree that the whole thing is weird. I'm not going to deny that. I think it's weird. But I think y'all know my whole goal is like, let's look at the whole picture.
if those funds have been extinguished? Or
I do not know. I don't know.
Now, John, I'm kind of jealous. You're calling Little Miss Red Velvet a cute biscuit. What am I? A yeast roll?
And you talked about Ms. Solomon having a good friend support here in Williamson County, and you're part of that friend support group. Is that
Yes, I am.
Would it surprise you to learn that Ms. Solomon believes that there is a high-level human trafficking ring involving the governor and the attorney general of the state of Tennessee?
I don't know anything about that.
So you and her have never had these conversations?
So I've seen things on social media. I've heard different things, but I don't know for sure.
So when you guys talk on the phone every other day, she's never brought up.
The attorney is like, are you aware that your friend thinks the governor is in a trafficking ring? Oh, I don't know.
To her theory of this high-level human trafficking involving the governor and the attorney general.
Not that I can remember.
Would it surprise you to learn that she feels that way?
I don't have an opinion on that.
I'll give her an opportunity to make something out.
Melanie, you may not have an opinion on the trafficking ring, but we all have opinions on your eyeliner and your hair color. Melanie, when you see me in court, talk to me, girl.
So what was your answer?
I don't know. So, yeah.
Would it surprise you to learn that Ms. Solomon, in addition to her husband or ex-husband, Aaron Solomon, was also interested in having 2 other individuals paid to be murdered?
Objection, Your Honor. I think that is relevant.
That is very relevant. The purpose of office is to get
I'm pretty sure they were mentioned in the recording just a few minutes ago. So I'm interested in knowing.
This is a small courtroom. Someone commented on that earlier. Must be where they do the bond hearings or something, because this was not the courtroom we were in today.
You may be up to let her out of jail. Okay.
So are you aware that there were 2 other individuals that she was also interested in?
Kristen, I did not retire, although I would love to. Would I love to do this full time? I would. But the reality is that's probably not the reality. But for now, it is my full time.
And hiring to have murder.
I am not aware of that.
So again, during your 15-year friendship and every other day phone calls, this is not something that you and her discussed.
No.
Did she ever discuss with you her intention or desire to have Aaron Solomon murdered?
No, she did not.
So the question back.
I got to give it to these DAs. They're just calm and cool. I'd be like, listen here, Caroline. Is that thunder? Is it thundering, Tater? I think it is. Hey, Caroline from Australia. I love that. Welcome.
Anything else? No, Your Honor. Mr. Carlson, you step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Melanie's like, get me the hell out of here. So here's the deal. If you're co-defendants, though, in something, aren't you not supposed to communicate? So this was in May, but then in December, they both got charged with theft. A croissant.
Who else do you have? No more proof. No other proof.
Okay, wait. Right there in the blue shirt, this blue Oxford, that's Aaron. And then that's Melanie. That would be kind of like, I'm trying to think something in the Adelson case. That'd be like Jeff Lacotte's sitting there and like, I don't know. Hell, I can't think. Tova or something. This is the Macy's. And so when I left court today, I went down to Macy's after I did all the other stuff. So I'm going to show y'all where it all went down. Here is the parking lot, but I believe he says they were more down here. But this is all Franklin, and then kind of a little bit across the interstate is what they consider to be Brentwood. So this is the Galleria Boulevard. So you'll see that address on things. So Cool Springs Galleria. Now there is another entrance to Macy's down here. So it could have been this one. So I'm going to pull in here and show you this as well. I think it actually was this because I do remember him mentioning Chili's, where there were different officers from different departments that could have come. They did mention Chili's, and Angie's on the phone with the confidential informant and goes, oh, there's a Chili's? I didn't know there's Chili's. Like, woman, are you hiring a hitman or like what the hell? I'm in to rescue him should it get bad. So there's Chili's to my right, yes. And then the shoe station. So Melanie, who we just saw, she got charged like 6 months later. And we're going to show that. It does mention the shoe station. So if we pull in here, this is the lower level of Macy's. So it sounds like, okay, Macy's. This is Donna's favorite. By the way, y'all been going through her emails, and she's a member of the Nike Club. You cannot make this shit up. But this is Macy's out at Cool Springs. It was this parking lot actually, because he did mention, yeah, it's over here. At one point they moved closer to what he says was a shoe store, Macy's. And I think they did mention it was by the men's. If you're hearing the jingling, it's my bracelets. I always wear my bracelets. If you know me, you know I love Julie Voss. They're my fave. Entrance. I just love being able to get my own footage and not be online trying to Google images of Macy's, Cool Springs, and this is just nice. It was nice. So I was out there today getting all my stock footage, and I'm going to have this because I'm going to be covering this, and I'm going to be the boots on the ground. And that looks really strange going in with a jacket. It's about a... Is that... Oh, shit. Hold on. To operate. I just love being able to get my own footage. Y'all see this guy? He is walking inside. Y'all, it was like 100 degrees. Humid as hell. He's got a denim jacket on, a ball cap, and a backpack. Now, if I were to see that and I was walking in Macy's, I'd be doing a K-turn out of there. And not be online trying to Google images of Macy's, Cool Springs, and this is just nice. And that looks really strange going in with a jacket. It's about 100 degrees outside. They moved to be... Okay, so let me take this comment off the screen. So right here is the shoe store with the little red awning that's faded, and this white hotel, that's the Marriott. And that's where the TBI agent went to like debrief. And they briefed before the sting. Closer over here is a shoe store. And then he did mention something about Chili's. And then he said they went across to a Marriott. And there's a really nice Marriott, like a full service one over. I mean, look at the Chili's pepper. Y'all, I was dying. Across the interstate, but I am guessing it was this Fairfield Inn Marriott. So that's where the operation went. So when they left, they also were to look like they were getting a speeding ticket. So they were pulled over. But he did reference them moving near the shoe store. And then it's the shoe station. Have you ever been there? Is that like, what was that place that was like Shoe Carnival or something? I wonder what shoe station is like. He said this is where they started out, all the investigators, the TBI and everything when they were doing this. Yes, Melissa, Brentwood. Brentwood in Tennessee is very similar to Brentwood, like in LA. Very nice area. They met here first. I'm going to go to the back side. So when they had the alleged traffic stop to make it look like, you know, they were getting pulled over too. It was here, and then after Judel, absolutely, that traffic stop, he said they came around the Marriott and went to the back. So this is the whole reason I do this, y'all. I know y'all are like, stop pausing, but I would watch channels and I'm like, just do the effing drive, like just show me. So that's what I'm trying to show people. This is why I want to go to Tallahassee, because I want to do the whole damn drive. I want to do it all. Backside. So you can see like that's the Macy's there off in the distance. Oop. So they had all these TBI agents at Chili's and this Marriott. So they're all around in case they needed reinforcements against Angie, who had no money but a registration for her car. He said they came around here, and then I guess they waited for her to be done with her arrest. Hey, True Crime Wifey loves the Chili's crispy chicken salad. It's been discontinued for 20 years. They used to have the quesadilla explosion salad. That's what it was called. And back when I was in pharma, that's always what the medical offices wanted me to bring them. And I started calling it diarrhea explosion salad. But then he said they came back around here to the back side. So this has been, I just like a visual. I'm a visual learner. And I had somebody once at a job. She's like, what kind of learner are you? I said, fast. I learn very fast. But she meant like, am I a visual? But I'm definitely a visual person. I wanted y'all to understand, because now I've got to go back to court on Friday because they didn't get to finish the hearing today. All right. So, all right. Everybody got the lay of the land? Macy's, Shoe Station, and the Marriott. Okay, so this is where it all went down. So we need to know this for the trial. Let me tell you something. What's her name? Angie, she ain't falling shit because you know why? She has no internet. So part of her bond is that she's not allowed to have any internet. I think she's got like a jitterbug phone or something. But he said nothing. And they were trying. And the judge is like, no. Yeah, I don't think she's following true crime. Okay, so this was the indictment of, I'm trying to zoom, but it's not working, of Angie Solomon and Melanie Hicks. Okay, so this shows the grand jurors for Williamson County, Tennessee, duly impaneled and sworn upon their oath, present that Angelia Lee Solomon and Melanie Lisa Hicks between March 7th, 2025 and March 11th, 2025, inclusive before the finding of this presentment in said county, blah, blah, blah. In violation, blah, 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 Class E felony. Unlawfully and knowingly obtain and exercise control over property, U.S. currency of the value of $1,000 or less belonging to Grace Works, said property being taken without the owner's effective consent, with the intent to deprive the owner thereof in violation of Tennessee Code Class A misdemeanor. So that was Melanie, who was just in the bamboo design shirt and the pearls and the eyeliner. So this was in March, but I guess it didn't get indicted or whatever till December. So I don't even think Melanie and Angie can talk, because usually co-defendants can't talk. So what the hell's going on here? So that was all indicted. I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't know that Melanie was booked, but now I need to look that up. Okay. All right. So let's go to today's motions. So let me just tell y'all, like Tennessee, it's harder to get the documents, but when I went in there today, the lady's like, no, I can pull it up, no problem. I'll send it to you. I need to redact, which I'm thinking, I would love to have my stuff redacted because I hate doing that. So there were 4 motions today, but I first need to read y'all about what happened today in court. Yeah, and now they got some splaining to do, right? Tater, you got to come down and go to court with me because we're going back Friday because they couldn't finish it today. Oh, Sue, I know. Aubrey Lee in closing was devastating. Devastating to me. Maybe I should read the motions and then read what happened today because I got all my notes. Okay. So there were 4 motions. So this was return of seized property. This was her cell phone. Girlfriend wants her cell phone back badly. But why do you want it back? You're not even allowed to have it. But it's just going back. It was seized without a warrant from her impounded vehicle after she was arrested. The seizure was unconstitutional. But even setting aside the illegality of the seizure, the state has had possession of defendant's phone for an entire year. If law enforcement has created a forensic image of the device, as it surely has by now, then its continued retention of the original phone serves no legitimate evidentiary purpose. Wrong, because you know what? Tallahassee, they still have Charlie's cell phone. Okay? They still have it. Meanwhile, defendant has been deprived of her personal property and critically of evidence that may be essential to her defense. The phone contains communications, records, and data that defendant and her counsel need to review. So let me tell you what you can do. You can go to Apple and get your iCloud, and you can go to Verizon or Sprint or whatever, and you can get all that. A forensic copy provided by the prosecution is not an adequate substitute, as the defense has no way to identify, verify its completeness and integrity. So what are y'all thinking? Oh, I understand. Oh, you're going to bed. True Crime Wifey, good luck, everything. Are your notes in a game changer? No, they're in a dog notebook, but I love dogs almost more than anything, so this is appropriate. This is dedicated to the Solomon trial. This is brand spanking new. Someone had given me a gift card to a store in Nashville for like $200, and I've had it for 2 years. And I went in there and I bought this $40 notebook, but it's got embroidered dogs. It's super cute. She's got no defense. This is nuts, right? Okay, so I'm going to keep going. All right, so she was arrested by the Franklin police and TBI on solicitation to commit first-degree murder on May 2nd, 2025. The search warrant was issued. So they seized it, and then they issued the search warrant, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that was the first motion. Then we're going to go, this was the second motion that was heard today, or was supposed to be. Let me rephrase that. To suppress evidence. So it talks about the cell phone was inside defendant's vehicle at time of her arrest. The defendant was arrested outside the vehicle. The vehicle was not taken into evidence, but was merely impounded. Law enforcement officers removed the cell phone from the vehicle without obtaining a warrant. Can y'all imagine what is on the cell phone? Without consent and without any applicable exception to the warrant requirement, the seizure violated defendant's constitutional rights, both under U.S. and Tennessee constitutions. Her cellular phone was inside the vehicle. At some point during or after the impoundment process, law enforcement officers entered defendant's vehicle and removed her cellular phone. This seizure was accomplished without a search warrant. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The state, blah, 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 legal standard, blah, blah. Cell phones occupy a unique position in the Fourth Amendment. Okay, so she wants her cell phone back. We got that. Now we're going to go to the third motion. And just shout out to my girl at the Williams County Courthouse today that was like, oh, I got you. I'll send it. I mean, thank you. Like, so much easier. So this was originally supposed to be heard July 31st, then they postponed it till today. So she says, the facts of this case present a disturbing picture of law enforcement opportunism. When confronted with information that a woman in the throes of a mental health crisis, suicidal, emotionally shattered by a contentious custody battle. Let's back up. 2025, when this all went down, Grant was deceased and Gracie was 18. So I think the custody battle was done. And financially desperate, may have expressed violent ideation. Law enforcement had a choice. They could have conducted a welfare check, connected her with mental health services, and intervened constructively. Instead, they chose to construct an elaborate sting operation, deploying undercover agents to manufacture a crime, the raw material of a woman's suffering. The Constitution does not permit this. Not even kidding. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in chat. Tater, Angie didn't have nothing but a dream. John Smith used to go to Columbia years ago. Let's see. We hope True Crime Wifey has a great day with her high schooler tomorrow. God, I remember those days. The law don't work that way. That's hilarious. Instead of arresting her, they should have intervened and gotten her some mental health. Yep. Then I love this part. Defendant Angelia Lee Solomon is a deeply religious woman. Oh, I do want to point out real quick that when Aaron's father recently passed, her parents went to his funeral. Yeah. Yeah. She says, he lives a millionaire lifestyle. His apartment's like $1,600 a month. Okay. That's not a millionaire lifestyle. She has no prior criminal history whatsoever. So back to 2021, when she was harassing that guy on text, I guess that's not criminal history. In the months leading up to her arrest, she was embroiled in an acrimonious custody dispute with her ex-husband concerning their minor child. I mean, the child was 18 at this point. The custody proceedings handled in Williamson County left defendant feeling victimized, unheard, and increasingly hopeless. She was suffering from a severe emotional distress, depression, and unaliving ideation. At some point, a confidential informant known as Steve brought information to law enforcement suggesting that defendant had expressed a desire for ex-husband to be harmed. Upon information and belief, this informant is a social media influencer. Oh boy, you got to find this person who initiated and escalated contact with defendant with the aim of generating publicity for himself. Yeah. Rather than treating this information as a sign the defendant was in crisis, as any reasonable assessment of her mental state would have warranted, the TBI elected to launch an undercover sting operation. Sean Atkins was assigned to pose as a hired assailant. The state has also characterized certain statements made by defendant during the custody proceedings expressing frustration toward the presiding judge and opposing counsel as a hit list. And then we'll go to the fourth motion today, which was, they want to modify conditions. So as I mentioned, she's not allowed to leave her house, except I think to meet with an attorney or go to the doctor. And she can't have a cell phone or anything. The current conditions confine defendant to total house arrest with a GPS ankle monitor, prohibit her from possessing any telecom device, including cellular phones, bar all internet access, prohibit smart televisions, gaming consoles, and any device capable of internet connectivity, require prior court approval for medical appointments, and prevent her from traveling to see her daughter at UT Knoxville, are unnecessarily punitive, constitutionally excessive, and far more restrictive than what is required to ensure her appearance at trial or protect safely. Tennessee law is unambiguous, must impose the least restrictive conditions of release. The current conditions do not represent the least restrictive alternative. They represent a regime of near total isolation that is functionally indistinguishable from incarceration that impairs defendant's Sixth Amendment right to aid in her own defense. That infringes on her First Amendment. So yeah, she's got the GPS. She has to have approval for medical. She can't have any telecom, no internet, no smart TVs. She has to have periodic, unannounced law enforcement inspections of her residence, and she's allowed to have no contact with Aaron Solomon, the ex-husband. Defendant has now been subject to these conditions for nearly an entire year. She has complied perfectly. She has not violated a single condition of her release. She has appeared for every court date as required. She has committed no new offenses. Her conduct during this period demonstrates precisely the kind of reliability and law-abiding behavior that warrants modification. Let's see if they put in here what they want. They want to modify it. I haven't read through all this. Defendant is a longtime resident of Williamson County. She has deep and longstanding ties to the Franklin community. She is not a transient. She has no history of flight. Defendant has limited financial resources. The court has already acknowledged that her bond was initially set at an amount beyond her means. I don't think bonds are usually, that's not it. It has to do with a crime. And they did reduce it. She's a lower flight risk because of her limited financial resources. Defendant's daughter is currently enrolled at UT Knoxville. The current conditions bar the defendant from traveling to Knoxville to visit her daughter, attend parent weekends, or provide the kind of parental support that any mother would. This forced separation from her daughter serves no legitimate pretrial purpose. Defendant's family ties to Tennessee are among the strongest indicators that she will appear for trial. The defendant's parents are elderly, and she has established a healthy, loving relationship with them. She desires the opportunity to visit, assist, and regularly monitor the well-being consistent with her responsibilities and commitment of her daughter. So see, she's losing a little bit of control. Yeah, I know, Melissa. No more kids in school, thank God. I feel the same way. Melissa, so her own parents can't stand her. Yeah. Hey, Audrey. Yeah, she doesn't have any convictions. So the daughter's like, I think a sophomore in college now. Well, she would be. So this was, so last year would have been her freshman year. So now she's starting her sophomore year. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, I know, Tater. Never ceases to amaze me. People think murder is a viable option. Yeah, what is wrong with these people, Little Miss Red Velvet? I don't get it. And I would have had 2 minutes with that undercover, and I've been like, yeah, this doesn't smell right. Grish would have. Grish has taught me, like, no, this don't stick. Yes, cynical. So every time someone is upset enough to solicit a murder for hire, we should just Baker Act them to cool down. Great point. It is. It's awful. Sad to realize the real world. I agree, Audrey. Yeah, what is going on? I agree. So based on my research, she would only get like 5 to 8 years max. That's what I've researched. Cynical sin. But I don't understand that because conspiracy, is that not what this is? But in Florida, it's 30 years max. Cynical, what? Her limited resources have her more of a kook flying over the cuckoo nest. I'd call that a flight risk. Yeah. Prior criminal record, none, 0. Defendant has a completely clean record. The hit list does not justify these conditions. It misrepresents evidence. Yada, yada, yada. But yeah, they make a motion to dismiss. They're saying that it's entrapment. I can't believe Courtney Clooney only got 6 years. I'm going to see if this is on the news yet. Let me see. I just need to show this real quick. Can I just tell y'all how sick I am of the AI thumbnails? Sick of it. Okay, let me go back to this. I was trying to see if they had any like coverage from today. But do y'all see what I'm saying? I mean, you got to look at all sides of this because people are like hating him bad online. And I agree. It takes 2 to tango. Long ago, my dad told me there's 3 sides to every story: his, hers, and the truth. I was trying to see if they had, I mean, they were there filming today in the court and they said it would be on the news, but I don't see it. I know Courtney only has to serve less than 2 years in prison. That is nuts, isn't it? Crazy. I didn't really follow all that. I mean, I just knew a little bit about it. But I mean, his family's got to be enraged. I'd be livid. Let me see if I don't see anything in the news. It'll be on here eventually. But they were there filming today. Channel 4 and Channel 2 and another camera was there. All right, so let me tell y'all about today. Let me see though if this podcast we want to.
Well, Ernie was there.
Well, not Ernie, but
oh, we have to just try to
but it
laugh
is
at some of
funny.
the stuff.
And it hasn't even been rough, but actually, I kind of
Same thing with my sister and my mom, and there was just a whole lot of
So this is Aaron being interviewed on the Good Grief, Good God podcast.
emotions all week, and then literally we get him into hospice on Friday afternoon. He's joking with the hospice staff at 8:00 on Friday night, and he passes away at 5:00 the next day. And so it was sudden. And then literally 6 days later, my ex-wife gets arrested for trying to hire a hitman to kill me. And it's just like, what? I got the call notifying me. I didn't know it was going down until it happened. And they call me and I'm just like in shock. I'm just like, this can't even be reality, you know? And it's been a whirlwind since, obviously. And just all kinds of emotions between my dad dying, that happening, several court appearances.
So his dad died. Then he found out that his wife was trying to hire a hitman. So this is Aaron Solomon.
With all of that, also right now, as we are taping this, it's graduation time. So my son would be graduating college if he were on track. So all of his classmates, I'm seeing all of them graduating right now. And then my daughter, who I haven't spoken to in almost 5 years at this moment, is graduating high school tonight.
So this was last year. So his daughter, he has not had contact with for 5 years, and that was in 2025. So now we're at 6 years. Okay. All right. So I'll put in the comments what y'all are thinking.
So all of those emotions and the things that are brought up in court and seeing, you know, in just the few court appearances we've had, it's been an emotional roller coaster. Yesterday was tough. Last night was tough. Today has been tough.
Tonight
honestly.
will be tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a lot here. Your ex-wife tried to hire and someone to kill you, and that person went to TBI or went to the authorities, and they had an undercover agent meet with her.
Yeah.
And they
recorded it.
Taped her.
Yeah. 45 minutes ish. And that was played in its entirety pretty much in court several weeks ago, which was
surreal, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. And that was live streamed out to whoever wanted to watch it at the time.
So the thing
Very
that stands
surreal.
out to me for that is, and we'll talk about whatever you want out of it, but it was interesting to me that this person who's claiming that you killed your son and that your daughter, the fact that she was going to get money because your daughter would get money from a trust if you were dead, and then she could pay them. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's what was said on the tape.
That's all pretty telling, isn't it?
I think so.
I mean,
I think
it's
so.
so obvious to you, and
Yeah.
honestly, it's pretty obvious to me. But I know that there are a lot of people out there. Unfortunately, people.
So this
See.
is a podcast, YouTube channel, Good Grief, Good God Show. So he's a famous songwriter, Brad Warren, and he lost his son to a drug overdose.
But that's kind of, if you spend 45 minutes with someone that you want to kill someone else, and the only reason that really comes up is financial, it kind of lets
It
you
was
know.
It was repeated.
And the issues that this person has been disparaging your character with for 5 years, I have to be honest, some people are going to remain crazy, whatever to do.
And you know what else was weird to me when she was hiring that agent, supposedly? He's like, so once I do this, like he's done, he's gone. And she starts crying. So if someone had really, in my opinion, abused my child and maybe killed another child, I'd be like, yeah, take him down. I thought that was kind of strange. I just want to show y'all really quickly. This is the Davidson County Court. This is like all the divorce stuff. Look at all these filings. I mean, this is how many filings y'all are in their divorce. This is since 2013. So 371 entries. Y'all, that is a lot.
In my mind, this validates much of what you've been saying. By the way, and you haven't been out there painting the town with.
Okay, so I just read y'all the what are those called? The motions today. So I'm going to read y'all about how today's went. So it was supposed to be, it does look like a Dan and Wendy divorce, but they got a lot of tabs. It's supposed to be 2-hour hearing, but I get there and I walk in, and first of all, I didn't know which courtroom to go to, so I didn't get in there until like right at 9. But I'm like, there's no one in here. I mean, I saw Aaron. I'm going to recognize him from TV. I don't know him. What I assumed to be his mom, his sister, and another man who I found out was his attorney, and me in the gallery. I'm like, this is weird, and I don't see Angie. So we're on the second floor of the courthouse. Angie Solomon, I wrote, is not present. Attorney says Angie was not required according to what he heard. The judge says, well, where did you hear that? And the attorney says, well, I had so-and-so in the clerk's office tell me. And the judge says, that person is not a part of the judicial circuit. Okay. And then the attorney says, or the judge says, look, we move things around to accommodate for today. And we were originally supposed to have this hearing on July 31st. We've moved it to August 11th. And her attorney is just like, well, it's impossible with all of her bond restrictions that, I've got to print things out and go give them to her, then go back and review them with her. And this just isn't possible. Then I would have to have her read and review. And the judge said, or the attorney says, he just can't go forward with today. Then the attorney general says, well, the state has received 4 motions, the first 3 being suppress, modify the bond, and motion to dismiss. And then on Friday, the state filed a response to the 4th motion about returning seized property, and that Angie wants her cell phone back. And the state said, we do have the data. We have the extraction. We have the warrant and how the detective got that information. And I do have the detective here. And about that time, he was in the gallery. I have him ready to testify today. And then Judge Woodruff, he was just kind of like in shock that the defendant wasn't there. And the state says, look, I feel like her bond condition has already been addressed. We've litigated this previously. The judge asked, is the state satisfied with her bond? Do they think she's in compliance? And the state says, we do think she's in compliance, but we do have some concerns, and we're not making a motion to have her bond revoked. But they said, we just don't see that we need to keep litigating this because it's already been done. Then her attorney, Richie, says he wants an evidentiary hearing in her bond and that he's entitled to that. And the judge goes, well, where did you hear that? And he said, oh, I heard it from a state defense attorney. And the judge goes, let me be clear. You did know the condition of her release when you decided to be her counsel, right? And he says, yes, but it is her right to have an evidentiary hearing. And the judge says, I agree. That's fine. The judge asked the defense, do you have any witnesses? And the judge says, I allotted a whole day to this today. This is a lot of work on the behalf of my court. This is discourteous to the state, to our witnesses, to the clerk's office, and it is conduct that he finds problematic. And I was telling somebody today, when I'm mad, like you're going to know, because I'm going to be like, look here, da, 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 da. But when you follow crime, you kind of learn. Like when a judge is using this stuff, like they are pissed, right? So he was pissed. And the judge goes, and I need it to be said, I cannot ignore the fact that I have to presume she is innocent. And I'm going to accept your representation as the truth. He said, some of these things we can hear without her. Others that we can and can't address today. He said, we will not accommodate your time. Everybody else lives by these rules, so you need to as well. There's nothing special. And we're probably going to have to just divide these motions up, which I thought was super interesting. It's a sub on here chatting with us. I don't know what that is. Oh, a sub. Yeah. Her cynical sender says her defense argued she was participating for the cop show, that she was being filmed at the scene. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. All right, y'all are talking about DiPolito. Yes, cynical. The judge more often than not sees through attorney BS tactics. They do. They sniff out the stuff really fast. They've seen this stuff. So then he talks about the motions. He says, returning the phone, the state needs to maintain evidence. He said, listen, this phone is no different than a gun, and a gun stays in the custody of the state. He said, two, she's been given the release she asked for. Richie says, well, I need to say something. He's like, this is unfair to tell me that we are being discourteous, not taking considerations with my client. That's unfair. It's not done like this. The attorney says, and you to say I'm not prepared. How can you say I'm not prepared? And the judge said, did I misunderstand? Is that not what you said today, that you weren't ready to go forward? And the judge goes, and I need it to be clear, I'm not accustomed with debating an attorney in my courtroom. The attorney says, we were prepared. The judge said, good, because we are going to move forward. The state says they have data, but they still need the phone. Richie says they have a defense forensic expert. The state says the phone is available and explains no one has ever asked for her phone. The state says it needs to maintain the chain of custody. Richie says he's got a lot of concerns about the phone, that they can tell, I guess from Apple data, that it's plugged in and on 24/7. What about updates and radio frequencies, and that they have a PIN code and he doesn't know what is going on with her phone? The judge says, are you implying there's something else the state is doing? And he said, no, I'm not. And the judge says, good, this motion is denied without prejudice. And then the judge goes, or the attorney goes, Judge, I think you misunderstood the state and their evidence. And the judge goes, well, that's my ruling, whether you want to work with it or not. And the judge says, I think moving forward, we need to establish some deadlines. He says, the motion to dismiss seems to be an argument of entrapment. So they're going to argue some more things this Friday because they cannot do everything today, I guess, because she wasn't there or they didn't have witnesses there. They, so he said for September 30th, we're going to have a deadline for all pretrial motions. Is that reasonable? And Richie says, well, yes, that's her attorney, 99% reasonable. We will have a mental evaluation that could delay based on her doctors. The state says, well, we're going to want a forensic expert to also assess her mental health. She says, as you know, the mental health process can be lengthy. The state says we need to proceed quicker if we're going to trial early in the new year. So the judge says, okay. So he sets a deadline for anything pertaining to like her mental health for Friday, August 28th. But any other pretrial motion, the deadline is September 30th. And they're still on track for trial early 2027. Then he says something about having a Friday, August 21st afternoon, 1:30 hearing regarding motion to suppress, a motion to dismiss. Then he talks about having the 14th, talking about her ankle monitor stuff. And her attorney's like, no, I can't do that. I have arbitration. And he's like, well, let's find a time. They're going to have the ankle monitor person testify. So the bond reduction motion is going to be heard this Friday morning. So we go back down there on the 14th. And the judge is like, can you have somebody else from your office attend? Would you like to attend via Zoom? And Richie, the attorney's like, let me make a phone call, judge. And the judge offers a recess, but he denies that. And then he comes back to the podium or the lectern and he says, 12 o'clock should be fine. So on Friday, the 14th, there will be a bond reduction motion. And we're going to have the ankle monitoring company as a witness. I can't wait. And the state said they are not going to have any witnesses. And Richie says, thank you for the opportunity for Zoom. I look forward to seeing you in person that day. And then we adjourned after 47 minutes. So, yeah, I know. I mean, I like this judge too. He's just so like, he reminds me, have y'all ever seen Sweet Home Alabama? And the guy that's, I think it's the attorney that's looking for Reese Witherspoon. And he's like trying to track her down. He's just very Southern with his bow tie. Reminds me. Yeah, denied. Yeah, this judge, he's like, listen. I mean, today, though, when he was like, where is the defendant? And they're like, well, we didn't think she had to be here. I was like, oh, yeah, get out the popcorn. But it was literally just like Aaron and his mom and sister and attorney and then me. And I'm just looking around like, what's going on? But I looked up at one point and the camera was right on my face because there was no one else in there. Yeah, Looney as a defense. That's what I think too, Armand, which is crazy because all during the divorce stuff, it was like, no, I'm not mentally crazy. And now it's like that's her defense. They've had her phone. So she was arrested April of 2025. But then she was in custody. And then when she got out on bond in May of 2025, a few weeks later, she's not allowed to have the phone. So, but there's something on that phone. She wants something. Maybe Donna will give Angie some acting tips. Yeah. So it's y'all, this is gonna be an interesting one. This is gonna get a lot of attention. I do think there's a lot of production companies that are looking at this case, but the hitman thing, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. I also think at one point Nancy Grace was gonna interview Angie and then she didn't, but you can go down the rabbit hole. Y'all can search stuff on YouTube and you'll find old podcasts, but I wanted to bring some new information to light because I just don't think the whole picture. Oh, I just hit the mic. Sorry. I don't think the whole picture has been told. Let's see if there's anything else good in this. And then
because you know what everyone says, oh, I'm innocent. Well, there's a lot of shit for you to have gone through. I'll be honest, when you told me this happened, and it was the day after, 2 days after, very You just sent me the clip
No,
and I
it
watched it.
was-
I was like, holy cow. And I
That
called
was that night. Yeah, it was that night, I think, or the next night.
So
Yeah.
that, yes. My first thought was a relief of some sort for you.
Oh, Raul B says, is there a hidden app? That's a good point. I would think any kind of Cellbrite or anything would show that. Nancy Grace would chew her up and spit her out. I don't know. Nancy Grace got a little cray.
My friend that went, okay, it's pretty obvious who the crazy person is in this story now. Do you feel any of that? Do you feel any relief? I know that's a crazy way to get relief.
I don't know if relief is the right word. Because it is it's hard to hear, no matter what, the mother of your children and the person you married, to speak so easily about wanting you dead. That's hard to hear. It's very hard to hear. And to have my daughter sitting in the courtroom that day, hearing all of that too, was surreal and hard. And my heart hurts for her because and I can't remember if I said it before, but with all that's gone on, I feel like I failed in not protecting my daughter better from what has happened to her via her mother from a mental perspective.
So take that, y'all. What do you think about that? I mean, it's deep, right? This is a lot to take in. But my whole goal tonight was just to kind of lay it all out because I don't feel like the whole story's been told. But I'm going to be here following this in person, boots on the ground, and I feel really bad for him. I do. And I don't think he's got the governor and senator on his team running a trafficking ring.
You didn't really have any control over that.
Well, I could have not let the kids go see her as much.
Brad's oldest son, Sage, died in May of 2020.
This just didn't run into like
my sister and my mom, and they were together.
So he, as I said, he had 80% custody in the divorce, and then he was trying to be nice and give the kids more time with their mom. Tater, I think the mother is crazy and has brainwashed the daughter. That's rough. You feel bad for him too. I know. And then when you hear about Grant's death, I mean, it is a bizarre thing. I just need some more information, but I'm gonna go back and watch that interview. Actually, I don't know if y'all saw in comments, John Steinbeck had commented on something about Donna, something funny. Like, I need to go talk to the manager. And I said, hey, listen, there's a case I'm following here. Because, you know, he has a parental alienation channel. And I said, I think this is one you should look at. So this is a big problem. Tater, it's bizarre. I don't think, yeah, I mean, it's just wild. But if I was him, I'd be like, I'm moving out of state. I'm done. I agree. I mean, a lot of attorneys that have listened to it are like, this sound, I mean, 911 calls. I don't know. I don't know what to say. The first time I watched Wendy's interview, I was like, I mean, maybe. And then, you know, you watch it 100 times, you're like, no, I don't know. I mean, I look at his background and sports broadcasting. I was going to see if I could find like an old clip of him. This is from 4 years ago.
Here on Sportsline, talking about the Brian Flores lawsuit against the NFL today. And our last guest, Aaron Solomon, talked about all of the coaches that maybe didn't have the same runway as their white counterparts in the NFL has certainly been alleged. And the NFL minority coaches have a better than 500 record when they have been hired on the job. They do. That's just a simple fact. And so that's out there. But a huge chunk of that comes from Tony Dungy, who's 60 games above 500 himself. The difference, by the way, is about 10 to 15 games overall. So Tony Dungy's all of that and then some. Jim Caldwell, who's above 500 in his career. Lovie Smith, who is right at 500 for his career, basically, but has a ton of wins. And Mike Tomlin. Those are the guys who have the vast majority of the wins under this rule, or under that umbrella, as I should say. But when you want to look at the umbrellas, again, in the postseason, Tomlin, all
right, well, show us Aaron, dude.
But even in that, all that much.
All right, this isn't what I want.
And if he doesn't get that higher right, he's probably...
It's been a heavy time in just so many different angles. And
do you have any looking over my shoulder, or do you feel?
Yeah, I've got my head on a swivel because on that 45 minutes of audio, she very much well described where I live, both of my vehicles, one of my license plates that was custom. It was LL Grant, Love Light Grant. I got rid of that. After that was all over the internet. She described in detail where I work out, that there could be people at the gym where I work out, let her know when I'm there, had people follow me home. And there are a lot of people that are justifying what she tried to do. Like, it's okay. Like, there was one woman who made a comment the other day that was like, just a couple days ago, that was like, he should be dead.
Right? It's pretty wild. But I appreciate y'all being here. I know this was a long show, 3 hours, long show here. But thank you so much. And so, like I said, I'm going to go back on Friday for the other motions hearing. I'm going to see if I can I want to get more on this Grace Works thing. So if y'all join late, you might want to go back to the beginning where today I did like a tour of all the different places, the cemetery, the jail. Where else did I go? I went to Macy's, Grace Works. So you like the long shows? I'm glad you do. Well, thanks. Oh, thanks, Taterbug. I'm glad y'all did. I've been really wanting to put together like this perfectly edited thing, but what I'm learning is I'm spending way too much time editing. And it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is just kind of like raw. Yeah. Y'all are welcome. I'm glad y'all like the tour. So if there's something else you want to see in this case, let me know. I am going to go out to Gallatin, the place that was the batting cage place where Grant's truck, because that's what I really want to see. I think I looked it up and it is now like a granite place. So I'm going to go see that. But I'm glad y'all enjoyed. Thank y'all so much. And y'all are so sweet. Thank y'all. And tomorrow night is a Adelson therapy group. So I've got some more for you. But y'all have a good night. And I look forward to seeing y'all then. And y'all keep researching this case. This is going to be really, really big. I promise. But I'm your boots on the ground. Good night.
I'm Lassie B, just a seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice. justice.